time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What's up, everybody? It's HBT with my man, Christopher Burton.
People's Podcaster, what's going on, y'all?
And we're here live, guys, and you know what we're about to do, Chris. Tell them what we're about to do, man.
Man, we are about to doggone get into this Hall of Fame Part 4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not F-O-U-R, F-O-R, 4.
Yeah.
F-O-O, 4.
Hey, Chris say 4, boy. Well, Chris want to take it to the hood, boy. 4. What's up, Joseph? Joseph in the house, man. What's up, Joseph? Good to see you, my man. Says hi, Harry and Chris. Yeah. If you hear, hello. What's up, Joseph?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, we about to get into this, man. We about to get into this WWE Hall of Fame. Hey, we've done 3 episodes, guys, and if you haven't seen it, go back. And it's up on our, in our lives. If you look into our content, you definitely will see it. We've numbered each and every one of these, and this is number 4, guys. So you can go back and check out exactly what we did. Maybe me and Chris will get somebody a little bit later to do the best of these Hall of Fames, or maybe I'll do it or whatever, edit it, and pretty much put that out too a little bit later after we finish this whole thing, man. But we gonna get into this thing. We're gonna drop it. We're gonna knock it out the box, man. About ready to go, Christopher.
Oh yes, sir, man. What's going on, man?
All right,
so
man.
we actually own class 2012, man, because I just looked. We already did 2011, so we on 2012, man.
2012. Okay, so we moving along. All right, Joseph said he found you on TikTok, Chris.
Oh, you found me on TikTok? Okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I got a few clips on there, man. All
right, Joseph. Hey, man, you and your dad got your tickets. Y'all got your tickets for Raw. Hopefully you got the tickets for Raw, man. Maybe I'll run it, maybe me and Chris will run it to you guys again. But hey, all right, but glad that you're here, Joseph. But yeah, we're gonna get to rolling, man. Let's get to rolling with this thing, Chris. 2012.
All right, man. So class of 2012, man. March 31st, 2012, took place in Miami, Florida at the American Airlines Arena.
Okay.
So we got a pretty good class here, Harry. We got some folk in here that you can talk about, boy, especially two of them, especially, boy.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
We got the headliner. We had Edge.
All right.
He was the headliner. He was inducted by Christian. And then we had Harry's homeboy, Mil Mascaris. Boy, Mil Mascaris, that's Harry's homie right there, boy. Wasn't y'all hanging out the other day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish, man. I have a whole bunch of questions to ask Mil Mascaris, man. Mil Mascaris. I know a lot of people say Mil Mascaris. Some people say Mil Mascaris, but I call him Mil Mascaris. But yeah, Mil Mascaris. But yeah, he's something special. One of the greatest of all time, guys. All time.
And he was inducted by Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah.
Then we had our man Ron Simmons inducted by JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was him, man. Then we had Yokozuna, who was inducted by Jimmy and Jay Uso.
Heck yeah. And then Yokozuna.
Then we had Harry's homeboys, boy. Used to run this crew, didn't y'all? Causing all kind of havoc and jumping folk, boy.
Them boys was nasty in them. They was nastier than the guys I used to run with. Boy, these boys were nasty, boy. 4 horsemen.
But the 4 horsemen, man, they was inducted by Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know, this version of the Horsemen was Ric Flair, Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard, along with J.J. Dillon.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Mag? Mag's in the house.
Mag, what's going on? And this, at the time, when this happened, this actually made Ric Flair now a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have the celebrity in the class, man. The celebrity, and I know Harry can talk about this man all day long, boy, and I can too. Iron Mike Tyson, and he was in. Well, knocking folk out, Harry. That's what he used to do, boy.
And knocking people out.
That's what he do.
I mean, still a huge celebrity today.
Oh yeah.
It look like he's about to knock some sense into somebody. So hey, we all know who that is, man. All right,
we all know who that is, man.
Green Randall.
We all know who you about to knock out, man.
All right.
And he was inducted by D Generation X, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. So let's get into it, man.
What an honor. But yeah, let's roll with these questions real quick. Let's see. Joseph said he found you on TikTok. See how I spelled your name wrong. All right. Greetings, Harry. Greetings,
What's
everyone.
Up,
Happy Sunday. What's up, Magnum? Hope at Logan.
I have a Logan Paul figure.
Okay, cool. All right, Green Rambler. Let's see, what did he say here? I just watched Dark Side of the Ring. Let's see, episode about the murder of Bruiser Brody, and I think Carlos Colon should be taken out as he helped cover up the murder.
Man, that was a good episode too. That was an old episode, but it was a good episode.
I didn't watch it. I know Tati just did something on that.
Man, that was on the first. No. Actually, that was around the first season of Dark Side of the Ring.
I never watched those. I never watched those. I never watched them. Oh, never have. I just now got into this Young Rock stuff, Chris. God, all right, let's see.
Boy, you gotta catch up, boy. You gotta catch up.
Man, you know all this stuff. You need to be talking about some of the stuff. That's I'm going on. I'm talking about the Young Rock, but you don't do that. But you need to talk about this stuff. You just watching it, then you call me and be Harry. Did you see it, Harry?
Yeah, that's what that's what I do. That's what I do, boy.
All right, Green Randall, Ziggler, and Goldust better get into the Hall of Fame down the line. Hey, Goldust definitely. Dolph Ziggler too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we can agree with that, Green Randall. But yeah, we're gonna get into this, Chris. Man, hey, go ahead and talk about Edge, Mr. Chris. We'll get to you later, a little bit later, Green Randall, on this last question.
Adam Copeland, man. Edge came in with oh Jesus, I can't think of the dude's name. The vampire dude. Him and Christian came in as the Brood when they initially came in. Vampiro? No.
No, it wasn't him. I didn't think it was him.
No. Golly, I can't think of the goose. I got his face in my head, but I can't think of his name.
Maybe Green Randall or Mag will put it out there. I know who you're talking about, but at that time, I really didn't care. I remember Ed and Christian came in when they both came in.
Yeah, this was around by the time, like I said, they were coming in with the vampire guy. I can't think. They were named the Brood. And they were pretty much, like I said, somewhat on the learning tree at the time, man. And these guys, you could tell they had something there, but you weren't too sure exactly what, man.
Right.
And as time went on, you got to see some of the talents and how they became a tag team. How they became, just
Gang Grill. I can't stand that.
Gang Grill. That was it. Gang Grill. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Gang Grill. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so they started showing, how they became a tag team and how they started gelling with each other. And unbeknownst to us at the time, they pretty much grew up together. They were like brothers, so they already had a connection before wrestling. But then as time went on, they broke up the Brood. Edge and Christian, they became a tag team and everything, and we all know what they did as a tag team, and with all the championships they won, all the matches they invented, the TLC match with Dudleys and Hardys. That thing was incredible at WrestleMania, and all these accolades. Well, it got to a point where Edge became a single star and became a real superstar, and then they strapped that rocket to his back, and he took off, man. Became beating John Cena for the WWE Championship at a New Year's Evil when he cashed in the Money in the Bank. It was the first ever cash in. After he had a Hell in a Cell, after Cena had a Hell in a Cell match, and then he became the equal opportunist. And he won the World Heavyweight title a few times. Obviously, he won the IC title. I mean, the man's done it all, and he's done everything you could do in the WWE tag team, singles. He's done it all. And now here he is in AEW, but I ain't gonna speak on that. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so Ed just had a wonderful career, man. He definitely, at the time, deserved being in the Hall of Fame, man. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. He most definitely deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm trying to check and see if we on Facebook, man. Let's see, because we are on Facebook. Okay, good. All right, look. Edge, man, very impressive from the moment I seen him. Now, I did see him when he first came in. He came in with Gangrel and all them, they calling him the Brood. I couldn't stand Gangrel, but Edge, very, very striking.
Why you couldn't stand him, man? What was wrong with him?
Tall, thin, but had a nice body to him and was incredible in the ring. And so he was engaging. He's one of these guys, and at that time, man, it's pretty much I really wasn't watching wrestling much. Like I said, I would come in as a casual fan every now and then to see what was going on. But he was one of the guys that was still in the business. I mean, that just had got in the business that really caught my eye. Anytime that I wanted to see somebody or whatever, Edge was one of those guys. Even though he was rolling with Christian, he's rolling with Christian too. I was more interested in Edge. Edge just had that look. He had that look of a champion, of somebody that's gonna be a superstar. And hey, that's what he turned into. And I remember when he won his first 2 world championships. But yeah, incredible wrestler, man. Definitely deserve all the accolades that he's gotten. And being in the Hall of Fame, man, there's no ins and buts about it that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Big ups to Adam Copeland, man, and everything that he's done in the business. We both wish he didn't go to the AEW, but it is what it is. It is what it is. He's there now, and hey, man, all I can really say is I hope your career just end off the way you wanted to end. You go out the way you want to go out, straight up.
Yeah, hopefully it does end up the way it wants it to end, man. So we'll see, man. But he definitely deserves, because the man has done everything you can do in the WWE. And there was basically there was a ceiling after that, man. Because the man that won the World Heavyweight Championship, he won the WWE Heavyweight Championship, he's won the IC, he's won Tag Gold. What else is there to do? What else is there left, man? At that point. So, we just hope that he, has a wonderful career over AEW and finishes out the way he wants to finish it out.
Exactly. But yeah, no doubt, man. So Edge, I'm glad he got in, and when he got in. So he knows as he leaves, hey, that I reached the pinnacle of my success, and I'm seated in that spot that I need to be seated in the company that made me who I am. So, wow, man, his whole family gets to see that, and that's one good thing. His whole family gets to see that, and they already know that it's already set. As much as we say that he's pretty much going to mess up his legacy in AEW, it's already been set.
Yeah.
So, hey. Yeah, big ups to Adam Copeland, man. Yeah, straight up. Yeah, he deserves to be in, man. No doubt.
All right. So next, Harry, we got your boy, the masked man, but the masked Mexican, but I ain't talking about Rey Mysterio neither. I'm talking about the man who basically inspired Rey to become what he is, and many others after Rey, Mil Mascaras.
Hey, man. Hey, this guy right here, he's a credit to his race, man. A credit to wrestling. Straight up, to all races when it boils down to it. But yeah, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the Rey Mysterios. We wouldn't have, we wouldn't have the Commanders and these guys that's out here doing all this stuff now. Mil Mascaras, he was a luchador. He did some of that stuff. Of course, is the things that these guys are doing now is making that look like it's nothing. But Mil Mascaras, Mil Mascaras is the one who started all that. Mil Mascaras, either way, people call him different, call it different at different times. But he started all that stuff. And what I think added to him, Mil Mascaras, because Mil Mascaras, he was doing the crossbody block before Ricky Steamboat. And he did it at a higher pace. He got up there even higher when he did it. He started out in the 60s. Mil Mascaras, he's also a movie star in Mexico. He's done a lot of different movies. His brother Dos Caras, has done a lot of stuff, and it's because of Mil Mascaras. Like I say, Mil Mascaras has, he pretty much put, Mexican, not Mexican wrestling, but luchador, the Mexican
Latinos,
Latino Hispanic wrestling on the map. He put it out there, man. If it wasn't for him, like I said, man, a lot of these guys, Conan and Chavo Guerrero, a lot of these guys really wouldn't have got to the plateau that they was able to reach if it wasn't for Mil Mascaras. He was just something special. It's not.
And I never saw the guy, so I really don't know nothing about it.
It's not many wrestlers that I could put over him. I think you did see him one time, Chris. He did do a Clash of Champions once, or something like that one time. But I mean, he was already 60 years old when he done that. He was in the 60s. But I mean, he was nowhere near what he used to be, because when it boils down to it, he could not do the movement, the things that he used to do. As far as he still got on the top ropes, he still was flying and doing those things. But we had Rey Mysterio at this time, and so it just seemed it paled in comparison. And we had like Tiger. Who was that? Tiger.
Conway
a lot of the Japanese wrestlers had
Tiger Conway Jr. and all them. Yeah.
No, not Tiger Conway Jr. The Tiger
Mask.
Tiger Mask. They was doing a lot of things that Mil Mascaras had did, and they took it to another level. A lot of the Japanese wrestling, a lot of the things that they was doing, they pulled from Mil Mascaras. They started doing a lot of the things, and they started doing high flying moves and things like that. And they pretty much combined those with the luchador style. So that's what we ended up getting. And I believe that's why we see a lot of things, like a lot of gymnastics in wrestling now, is because of those things. Those two styles was combined. And if you look at the American style, the Americans that's wrestling, and the Westerners that's wrestling out here, they looked at a lot of the things that they was doing, say, oh, that was exciting stuff, especially when they saw Rey Mysterio doing it and a lot of these guys doing it. Oh, that's very exciting. Now, of course, we had Billy Kidman and people like that who was doing certain things like that, but they actually got it from there too. But those guys seen that and said, that's very exciting, so this is what I'm gonna do. But it's nowhere on the same level. And I think the luchador wrestlers are trying to take it to even a higher level than what they was doing then, because they are looking at everybody as taking their style. But hey, Mil Mascaras, man, he is, he's the foundation of that. He is, when you look at all the stuff that's happening right now, as far as the style of wrestling, you got to go back to Mil Mascaras. If you can go back and look at his stuff from the 70s, man, it's all there. It's all there. Of course, they're doing it, like say, they're doing it at a higher plateau, because everything evolves. Everything gets better, but they're doing it on a higher plateau. But man, he definitely set the standard, and that's where they got it from. But Mil Mascaras, incredible wrestler, was an IWA World Heavyweight Champion. And I know a lot of you don't know what the IWA is, International Wrestling Association. Got very big. It was actually the first region that went nationwide. They went national. Okay. And Jim Crockett pretty much shut them down. Basically, they started out in Ohio. They went from Ohio, came down the East Coast. They came down here to the Carolinas. They set up camp here in Greenville, Chris.
Oh wow, man!
Yeah, the old Greenville Textile Center. They used to run that. They used to run that every Friday night. But and they tried to get into the Greenville Memorial Auditorium. They did get in for a few shows, but Jim Crockett, he shut that down. Jim Crockett took them to court. Jim Crockett was them coming down here in this region is what shut them down. It shut them down. Jim Crockett, yeah, you could go back and you look. I can send you the lawsuit, but he put a lawsuit up against them, and the IWA lost. For 3 years, man, they was pretty much dominating. They got up down here. They got up into New Jersey. They tried to get up in New York a little bit. They got up into New Jersey, Philadelphia. They stuff is on the internet, man. They was for like 3 years, 75 to 78. Yeah, they pretty much was dominating. That's where we got instant replay. Wrestling didn't have, there was no instant replay in wrestling. They came up with a lot of innovations. We got instant replay from them, and they was the first ones that had incorporated music into their intros and everything. Yeah, all that stuff came from the IWA. Yeah, it's kind of like the NFL. The NFL took so many different things from the USFL back in the 80s and the XFL. Yeah, they the innovations that they had, they pretty much grabbed that. The NBA did the same thing with the ABA. When the ABA folded, they actually some of their teams, like 4 of their teams, got the merged into the NBA. But the NBA took a lot of their inventions, a lot of the things that they came up with ideas, and the same thing. The NFL done the same thing with the USFL and the XFL. But yeah, a lot of those innovations that the IWA came up with. You see it now. You saw it in Jim promotions, and you saw it in the WWE. They pretty much took away from it, even though they was all involved in shutting it down. They did.
Wow, man.
Yeah, but the guy who started it owned the Chicago not the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago White Sox. The guy who started it. So there was a lot of money behind it.
Oh, good Lord, yeah. Somebody with the White Sox, man.
Yeah, he owned the Chicago White Sox, and he put a lot of money behind it. They had stars like Dino Bravo, of course, Mil Mascaras, he was the world champion. They had Dino Bravo, they had Ernie the Cat Ladd, they had Cowboy Bob Ellis, they had Bulldog Bob Brown. They had a great stable of wrestlers, man.
Wow,
great stable of wrestlers. And guess who got them? Guess who got them? Jim Crockett. They all went to the Mid-Atlantic area, and they went up to into New York with Vince, Vince Sr. Yeah. Vince Sr. he used to work with Jim Crockett, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both shut him down, man. They shut that thing down. And then next thing you know, Vince Jr. come in, and Vince Jr., he ended up shutting Jim Crockett down, pretty much. So Karma came down. Everybody Karma came back. He got him, man. It's crazy. All right, but yeah, Mil Mascaras, man. Hey, like I said, he was a great world champion, and that's the reason I was saying, as far as when I was talking about Dusty Rhodes, if you guys see that short or whatever, or when I was doing that thing about Dusty Rhodes, talking about his legacy and everything, I said I had put in Mil Mascaras. Dusty Rhodes was the most outside of Andre the Giant back in the 70s. Dusty Rhodes was the most popular wrestler in the world outside of Andre the Giant, and I put Ric Flair. It was Andre the Giant, Dusty Rhodes, then Ric Flair, and Mil Mascaras. Mil Mascaras probably was more popular than Ric Flair at that time. I say Mil Mascaras. Yeah, it was Andre the Giant, Dusty Rhodes, Mil Mascaras, and then Flair back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, man. We can move on.
All right, so next one we had man, Ron Simmons, man, the first black WCW heavyweight champion, man. He was inducted by JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield.
His old partner. All right, man. We got Will Relic Sports. We appreciate you coming in. Alma Clark is in the house. We're gonna talk about Ron Simmons, and then we'll get to your comments, everybody. But yeah, we definitely want to get through this class. All right, man. Ron Simmons. I remember when he first came in, when he first started wrestling in the Mid-Atlantic area, WCW. I never forget it. It was in the late 80s when he came in, and he was just like a guy. He was pretty much a mid-card guy, and I'm talking about a low mid-card guy. And he will win every now and then, and he will lose. And I'm like, okay, he's a big guy. He was a superstar football player. I knew him from football, when he played for Florida State. I know he made it to the NFL for just a little while, but very explosive. But I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, there's got to be something. There's got to be something to pull this streak out of him. Pull this mean streak out of him. There's got to be something to elevate him to what he could be. He definitely had the body. He had the size. He had the, he had everything that you wanted to have in a wrestler. I was like, there's got to be something that pulls that out of him. And a little bit later on, we had Butch Reed come in, and Butch Reed was outstanding. One of the best wrestlers that I've ever seen. And, it doesn't matter what color. One of the best wrestlers I ever seen when I first saw him back in Georgia, back in the early 80s, like 1980, 1981, when I first saw him up in Memphis. He was incredible. And then he went up to Vince, I think around 84. And when he got up to Vince, he started having knee problems because of course he played football. He was a great football player. And he had started having knee problems, and he wasn't the same. They called him the natural, no. And I think they did pretty well with him. I think they did pretty good with him, but he could have been at a higher plateau. And I saw when he was over in the WWE, he wasn't the same. He still was good, but he was not the same. And then he ended up coming to WCW, and he was over there, and they had him at a mid-card status, just like they had Ron Simmons, but they had him a little higher than Ron Simmons. So
you think so? You think so, man?
Oh, when he first came there, yeah. When he first came there, it was around, 88, 89? Ron Simmons was probably, like, say, if you have a mid.
You talking about WCW. Okay.
I mean, WCW, when he came to WCW. Yeah. But, yeah, he was higher than Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons was, like, losing matches to people like Black Bart. He was losing matches to – he was – man, he was losing matches to Black Bart, Cactus Jack. I mean, Cactus Jack was not he was not Mankind. He was not Mick Foley. He was not that guy that you seen that became a superstar. Cactus Jack was a mid-carder. He was a mid-carder, but he was beating Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons was losing matches. Ron Simmons was losing matches to Chick Donovan, man, Brad Armstrong. He was losing matches to those guys. And then Ron Simmons started getting into tag teams. They started teaming him up with certain people. And what was funny about it was real funny. You go to Greenville Memorial Auditorium, Ron Simmons teaming up with somebody. Every time he teamed up with somebody, we like, I remember the first time he turned on somebody on TV, they started having him turn. It was a pretty good storyline. He would turn on guys. And I'm like, why is he turning? Because I'm like, he the one who sucks in the doggone tag team. But everybody that he teamed up with, man, he would turn on them. and they started having him come every Monday night to Greenville. And he would lose. And every time he lose, Ron Simmons, this is where the damn started. Okay. He was like, damn, after the match. He'd be like, damn. And everybody, he gonna turn on him. He gonna turn on him. Then he'll look at his partner. His partner be like, man. And then he'll wait till, and then he'll be like, he'll turn around like that. And then when his partner not paying attention, then they say, bam, Ron Simmons just nailing him, man. And so, and then they went and exactly. And Woman had came in at that time, man. Woman had came in, and was it Sensational Sherry?
It was Woman.
Woman had came in, and Woman, she got those two together, and she put mask on them. And when she put those masks on them, because both of them was pretty much languishing as singles wrestlers, she put the mask on them, and everybody knew who it was, and she called him Doom. Everybody was like, "Oh, that's Ron Simmons and Butch Reed," and so we was all looking at that. But when Woman had them, they couldn't beat nobody. I don't even remember them winning, Chris. I do remember them defeating a few jobber teams like the Mokies and people like that. George Soft and Danny Davis, or whatever. They would defeat teams like that.
That's hard.
Italian Stallion, and his partner. But overall, man, anytime you put them against anybody that was decent, you put them in there against the Nasty Boys, they lost.
The Steiners, obviously.
Yeah, of course they lost to the Steiners. I mean, the Steiners just easily annihilated.
Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Road Warriors. And so
that's horrible.
They was nothing. She had them for like 3 or 4 months. Next thing you know, one day they come out. I think it was one of the Clash of Champions. It was a big show. I know that.
Oh wow!
They come out. Teddy Long was with him. Now Teddy Long just had got over because Teddy Long was a referee. Hadn't managed anybody. He was a referee. Everybody used to pick on him as a referee. Everybody calling him Peanut Head and all that stuff. Next thing you know, he comes out in a tuxedo. And Doom is with him. They're unmasked. And they still call him Doom. They came out and he said, "This is Doom." He said, Teddy Long, I got the brothers with me and everything like that. And we gonna show. And man, and they walked up, and the Road Warriors just got finished with a match. The Road Warriors get out. This was at one of the Clash of Champions. Road Warriors, I think it was at one of the Clash of Champions. Road Warriors get out of the ring.
Man,
Butch Reed and Ron Simmons right in their face. You thinking these guys all dressed up, they just gonna challenge them. They start beating, they start fighting. It was a war out there, boy. Boom, 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 outside the ring. A war going up the ramp. It's a war. Doom getting the best of the Road Warriors.
That's crazy.
Next week or whatever, there's a match between Doom and the Road Warriors. Doom whoop their tail, man. The next week after that, Doom again, whoop their tails again. Teddy Long got there with Doom, with Butch Reed and Ron Simmons. And they they talking about the Road Warriors, whatever. Butch Reed and Ron Simmons said they wanted the Horsemen. And then David Crockett, was it Tony? David Crockett or Tony Schiavone? I think, but those was two. No, it was David Crockett. It was Bob Caudle and Tony Schiavone out there interviewing him, and they was like, "What about Doom? I mean, not what about Doom? What about the Road Warriors? What about you guys? Got a problem with the Road Warriors and stuff like that?" And Butch Reed said, "We already dusted them off." No, Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons said, "We already dusted them off. We ain't worried about them. We after them Horsemen." Guess who got attacked the next week?
Doom.
Arn Anderson got attacked. Beat the living crap out of. They beat the crap out of Arn Anderson. And
that's just, man.
JJ was like, "Oh no." And the next week after that, Ric Flair came out there, man. And they in there, and then Ric Flair, boy, they were like, "Oh no." Tony Schiavone was interviewing. He was interviewing Teddy Long in Doom, and Ric Flair and Arn Anderson came out there and attacked him, man. So it was on, and that was a real good feud there. They had a great storyline there. That pretty much elevated them after that elevated them to the next level because they already got that reputation. Everybody said they ran out the Road Warriors. They gave them credit for that, and that was in a wrestling magazine, man. But the Aftermags, they ran the Road Warriors out of WCW, and I was just like, look, I couldn't deny it, even though I love the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors at that time had got to the point where they was not the same Road Warriors. They were still real good, but it wasn't great, and they ended up the Road Warriors ended up in WWE. But Doom was, man, that was an incredible tag team. And Ron Simmons that he ended up being when he was world champion, it all started when he was with that tag team, man. The explosiveness, the intensity that he brought to the ring, it just amazing, man. It was amazing. And for about 5 months, they had the title almost basically 5 months. And who was that came in and told them, to lose? They wanted them to lose the titles or whatever. And it was for no reason. I don't know why, but, because they could have been. If Doom would have held on to them titles, man, if they would have had like a 2-year run, I would rank Doom in the top 5 tag teams of all time. Doom was devastating. But okay, Butch Reed ended up leaving. Actually, when they broke up the tag team, you had because Butch Reed turned on Ron Simmons. Butch Reed and Ron Simmons had their little feud. Very good little feud there. Ron Simmons ended up dusting off Butch Reed, but Butch Reed wasn't the same person. But hey, they had a very good war. Ron Simmons won it, and then next thing you know, Ron Simmons ended up in a feud with Lex Luger right before he ended up in that feud with Big Van Vader and end up winning the World Heavyweight Championship. That feud with Lex Luger was legendary, man. That was incredible. That was really good. I was just stunned. I mean, Lex Luger, people can say what they want. I never thought he was a great wrestler, but he was really good at what he did and had all that power and everything. Ron Simmons overpowered him, man. Ron Simmons, he did the total package in. you talk about total package, it was Ron Simmons. That was the total package, boy. And then he ended up, going after Vader and ended up being a world champ. So, wow, you talk about somebody that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, not just because he was the first recognized world champion.
And then all the stuff he did on the football field too, man.
Oh yeah, incredible, man.
The stuff he did on the football field was, legendary. That's not Florida State Hall of Famer, man. I mean, that joker he was a doggone Heisman runner-up, man. As a defensive player, as a nose guard, Chris. Not at one of the skill positions, not a linebacker, not a cornerback,
safety or whatever, not the skill positions. Nose guard.
He was on the line
and was runner up for the Heisman. Man,
That's never happened since.
Heck no.
Never.
I
The
mean,
only person that can say they even had the Heisman as a defensive player is Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson, yeah.
But he was in a skills position.
Yeah. He was
on
a cornerback.
The line, he was quarterback. He was corner. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what I said. He was a cornerback.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And somebody sound like I said quarterback, but yeah, he was he was cornerback. But yeah.
And he played some wide receiver too. So yeah. So that helped him a lot.
But man, that joker was woo. Charles Wilson was good, but yeah, Ron Simmons was a great defensive player. And probably should have won it, to tell you the truth.
Man, you heard this joker, man. You heard what this joker did, man.
What did he do?
I don't know if you heard the story. Okay. Now, he was down in Florida State around in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right? When they weren't no good and nobody really ever, they didn't care about no Florida State.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
This joker, man, comes out here his senior year, Harry. Everybody know who he is. He's the man on the yard.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who he is. This joker had a 1970 or 80-something Thunderbird.
Yeah, I know about that. I remember that car.
And literally, the Thunderbird on the hood had the Thunderbird flame on the hood and everything.
Right.
Hey, this joker done took the hood off the car. Had it replaced with a picture of him on there standing up there with his hands on his hips and blue jeans. And somebody painted a picture of him and had his girlfriend at the time kneeling down by his leg, holding on to his leg, looking up at him like he was a god. He riding around campus like
that. Goodness sake, man.
I was like, dude, how much ego could you have had to do that to a Thunderbird?
Yeah, he left Florida State, man, in 1981. Yeah, they.
Oh, so he was he was there in the 70s then. Yeah,
he was there from 77 to like 81, man. I knew it was 81, 82. I wanted to make sure. But when he left, man, Florida State was just getting to the point where they was pretty much starting. They were starting to win. His senior year is when they were starting to win, when he was starting to be competitive. But before that, nah. But yeah, it took Bowden a while, man, to get those guys to where, they was winning. But, as far as the NFL, when it boils down to it, like, he played with the Ottawa Rough Riders. He went to the CFL first, and then he played for 2 years with Tampa Bay Bandits in the USFL. And to be honest with you, as far as in the NFL, even though he was as strong as he was not big enough. He was not big enough as a nose guard to play in the NFL. He just wasn't. The NFL, I mean, what is Simmons? I think Simmons is basically barely 6 feet tall.
He might be 6'1", maybe.
Yeah, 230, 240 or whatever. There was those guys at that time had got up to be like 280. If you was on playing defensive lineman, you had to be around 270, 280, and those guys were like 6'3", 6'4". Even though as great as Simmons was, his speed and power, he just could not plug up. Because now if he was a linebacker, he probably could have did it, but you got to plug up that middle, and at that time, Simmons he was not big enough to really make it in the NFL. But man, yeah, he was really good. He was really good when he played with Tampa Bay Bandits. I remember that. All right, let's see. Let's roll on, man.
All right, so the next one we got is Yokozuna, man, who was inducted by his nephews, Jimmy and Jay Uso.
Okay, before you talk about Yokozuna, man, let's get these comments, man.
Definitely, man. Let's see where we stopped off at, man. What we
way up there, I'm sure.
Yeah, we way up there, man. Way up there. All right. Green Randall said, to clarify, I mean taken out of the Hall of Fame. Oh, okay. Green Randall says if the first season of Dark Side, if it was the first season of Dark Side of the Ring, I just started watching it. Yeah, that was around the first season, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Green Randall said, Chris, who do you think picture the Montreal Screwjob in Dark Side of the Ring? Both Jim Cornette and Vince Russo claimed to have been the ones who pitched the idea to Vince. Nah, that was Vince. That was Vince's call, man.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
He had the final say, yay or nay on that, man. That was all.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Alma Clark, what's up, Harry Bernard Taylor and Christopher Burton? How y'all doing this afternoon? I'm doing pretty good. Resting up, eating some lunch, Spanish rice casserole with Velveeta cheese sauce, B90.
All right, Alma, cool. Enjoy yourself.
Green Randall, do you think Christian versus Edge was at AEW was pretty epic and maybe not his best feud since coming back from injury. I didn't see it, man, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah, he said, I do think Christian versus Edge at AEW was pretty epic. It was pretty good, Green Randall. It was pretty good. I think they could have done it. I think they could have done it better. I think it could have been did better than what it was. But for what it is, it was okay. But they definitely could have did it better. I mean, if it was me and Chris would have been booking, I would have if I was Tony Khan, I would have had Christian. I would have had him welcome his friend there with open arms. Yeah, and have him turn on him a little later, but welcome him with open arms and pretty much have a conversation with him and Christian say, look, brother, hey, me and you will always be friends, but that I'm on this side here because Christian is operating as a heel. He can say I'm on this side here, but there will never be anything between me and you, that comes in between me and you. Have him do like a New Jack City type thing, man. Because
there you go, man. There you go.
Yeah, and then later on down the road, 3-4 months down the road, then you have Christian be the snake, and then he attacks his friend, man, out of nowhere. Edge would not expect it or anything, and it's something that you could have rolled with for a long time. I mean, for a good while, and it's something that probably it would have set the wrestling world on fire, man. It really would have. It's a missed opportunity. It really is. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. What was last? All right, we got Will Rally Sport in the house. What's up, Rally? All right, my man says, let's see. Will Rally Sport says, hi, Harry, Chris. Another Hall of Fame stream. Cool. I'm looking forward to AEW Dynasty in a couple hours. Should be awesome. Hope you are both okay today. Yeah, we are doing pretty good, Rally. Hopefully that is a good show. Hopefully that's a good show tonight, Rally. That's all we can really say about it. And hey, last night I did do the stream. I did Collision and Rampage. I did. I came in a little bit later, but a lot of those guys did engage in against each other last night. So, man, I'm just wondering about this show here, Dynasty, and I'm still debating on if I should get it because a lot of it, they pretty much use Wednesday nights Dynamite and they use Collision and Rampage pretty much to put a lot of these guys in the ring together to build it up. So I don't really know if that was the best strategy, but we'll see, man. We'll see. And, me and Chris, we already talking about it, but we'll see how all that stuff comes to fruition tonight, man. If we decide to do that. All right, Melanie McKeith is in the house. What's up, Melanie? Good to see you. Let me get your comment in here in just a second. Let's see what we got here. All right, I need to go to my Facebook. All right, but yeah, tonight should be pretty good, man. It should be pretty good. We're hoping for a good pay-per-view, and they usually do pretty good. Oh, sorry. We're hoping for and you know what? They usually do put on good pay-per-views. I will give AEW that. They usually have great pay-per-views. So hopefully that's what we get tonight. We hoping to get a very good pay-per-view, man. All right, let's see. All right, Melanie McKeith says hello from Augusta Street area. Hootie hoo! August 1st through August 4th, the Gathering Wrestling Fan Fest, Charlotte, North Carolina. Huge gonna be this year. Paul White, Kevin Von Erich, Abdullah the Butcher, American Males, WCW Tag Reunion of Marcus Bagwell and Scotty Riggs. Okay, and many more. Go to WWE tmartpromotions.com or Martin T-Mart the Amata on Facebook for more info. Hilton University Place Charlotte is the host hotel, and convention room rates are special rated at $125 a night. Let's see, $125 a night at the moment. Book now. Okay. Thanks. I appreciate that, Melanie McKeith. We definitely appreciate that. So, hey, that's going to be interesting. That's really going to be interesting. Hopefully, Christopher Burton will be back here in just a moment, guys. But, yeah, appreciate Melanie McKeith coming in, Wrestling Den Mother coming in the house, man, rocking with us tonight. All right, Braden's in the house. What's up, Braden? Brain says, Victoria deserves a Hall of Fame spot. Yeah. I will say that. I definitely will say that. But yeah, so hopefully, Chris will come in just a moment. And I think we ended off, let me see. We ended off, I think it was Yokozuna. I want Chris to come in here and talk about Yokozuna. I know Yokozuna. And, I did watch some of his career. But I'm pretty sure Chris has more of a take on Yokozuna. He pretty much probably have a lot more to say about Yokozuna than I will. I did watch Yokozuna. I liked Yokozuna. I thought Yokozuna was very good. I remember the most I remember from Yokozuna, the most iconic feud that I remember him having was with Lex Luger. But I'm pretty sure Chris probably, like I say, Chris will have a lot more to say on Yokozuna. So hopefully Chris will be back here in just a little bit. But I do remember when he was Yokozuna against Lex Luger. Yokozuna was hard to beat. He's one of these guys, man, that anytime that they brought somebody, they brought somebody up and it looked like somebody was going to take him out, each and every time I'm like, hey, Yokozuna's going to win this match. They're not taking out Yokozuna out. They're not going to beat Yokozuna. Hey, big ups to Lex Luger. Lex Luger was able to get the big man up and slam him, but Yokozuna was incredible, man. And also Yokozuna was a sumo wrestler. So Yokozuna was something. He was something to watch. He really was great wrestler. And hey, it took a while before I actually knew that he was actually one of the Samoans. I didn't think he was a Samoan there for a while. I thought he was an Asian wrestler or something. And I think that's basically I was thrown off because he was a sumo wrestler or whatever. But then I found out real quick that he was not an Asian wrestler, man. Excuse me, guys.
You all right, boy?
Yeah, and plus the name Yokozuna. Yokozuna. They gave him the name Yokozuna, so I thought he was an Asian wrestler.
I thought he was a sumo wrestler too. I was like, God, yeah. I'm like, they got this joker here, sumo wrestler for real. Like,
exactly.
Like, man,
they said he was a sumo wrestler. They say he actually engaged in sumo wrestling before he came into that. I don't know. Wow. That might have been some WWE lore there, just
yeah. But he did come out with Mr. Fuji, so I don't know now, Harry.
Yeah, they say he was a sumo wrestler. I remember when he first came into WWE. I thought he was spectacular. I was really shocked. I didn't know he was going to end up being a WWE World Champion. But I just got finished talking about my time as far as what I can remember most about him. I remember that. Yeah. I remember his matches with Lex Luger. So I said, Chris might want to expound a little bit more on that because he knows probably more about him than I do.
Yeah, but when Lex slammed him, boy, that
was iconic, man. That was iconic.
Man, that was really iconic, man. I'm trying to tell you, that was because nobody had never done it before. And you had football players, man, NFL football players coming up on that ship, man, up there trying to slam that joke and couldn't do it, man. So
oh yeah,
that was that, man. And Lex just picked that joke up, boom. I was like, oh my gosh, boy. That was when they were doing the whole Lex Express thing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I
didn't think nobody could stop Yokozuna, man. I didn't think he was one of these wrestlers.
I didn't think so either, man.
That every time Yokozuna got in the ring, I didn't care who came up. And I remember there was challenges coming up for his title. Every time I say Yokozuna's gonna win, Yokozuna's gonna win. He won too. So who actually took the title from him, off of him?
It was he actually beat Bret Hart at WrestleMania.
I remember that.
He beat Bret, and then he cheated, and then Hogan beat him for the title at WrestleMania.
That's what I thought. Hogan. I thought it was Hogan beat him. And I remember when Hogan came up for that title, I was like, okay, Hogan, they're gonna put it on. Hogan's gonna actually win it. Hogan. There was something about Hogan. He just knew how to overcome big man. And I thought about as soon as he ended up, he was about to have that match against Yokozuna, I thought back to him and King Kong Bundy. I'm like, okay, he knows how to wrestle these big guys. He's going to end up overcoming Yokozuna. And hey, at that time, guys, we didn't know it was scripted, okay? That's before they ended kayfabe. So we didn't really know it was scripted. So I didn't look at wrestling in that realm, even though, hey, the F word was around. In my opinion, hey, it was no F, it was no scripted, none of that.
No.
So, hey, didn't know if Yokozuna was going to lose or not, but Yokozuna, Hulk Hogan ended up taking the title off of him. And after that, man, Yokozuna, he's still, still good, still winning a lot of matches. But hey, Yokozuna started falling a little bit after that. But hey, Yokozuna, man, definitely deserved to be in that Hall of Fame, man. Hey, nobody can. I don't think anybody out here can say, hey, that man didn't do enough to get into the Hall of Fame. He definitely did enough, and he had a name out here. And you say Yokozuna, everybody knew who that was.
And he was so cool too, man, because there was a story. I don't know if you knew the story here of he used to hang with the Undertaker and all them BSK crew.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the Bone Street crew because he always used to play dominoes. It was him, Undertaker, Midian, and some other jokers, man, used to hang with him, man.
Okay.
Man, when I tell you, man, them jokers, man, they was in a hotel and they would get bored sometimes, and they would be drinking Jack Daniels and stuff, man, and get bored, and they would start lighting and throwing matches at each other, man, just flipping matches, and just doing silly stuff, silly stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so he came out there, man, and said, Yoko had his hair up in a bun, and a match landed in his hair, and his hair caught on fire.
Oh wow.
So all the boys started getting water and beating on him and trying to put his hair out and everything and just jumping on him. And he was like, after everything was said and done, Tick was like, we all just laughed about it and we were still cool and everything. It was all good,
Oh yeah.
And he was like, he was like, Yoko, man, he was something serious. And if you really want to see a backstory on Yoko, man, go and check out his documentary on Peacock.
Okay.
On Peacock. Go check it out, man.
Oh, cool.
That gives you an insight of how he is and what he was and who he was and stuff. So go check it out, man. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely will, man. Definitely will. But yeah, Yokozuna, outstanding, man. I mean, he took wrestling to another level, and you can add him to the legacy of those big men that's out here that's been in the business that really became icons. Of course, he was not the athletic specimen of a Bam Bam Bigelow or Big Van Vader.
No, he was way bigger than them jokers.
Yeah, he was way bigger than them. But man, he can move just as fast. He can move almost as fast as those guys. Now, he just wasn't coming off the top rope with no moonsault or anything like that. He would have went through the ring, but that joker was something, man. But yeah, Yokozuna was very good, and like Chris said, anytime that you saw him in the ring, every time I saw him in the ring, man, I pinpointed a win every time. I'm like, you're not beating Yokozuna, you're just not beating that dude, So, but Yokozuna was special. All right, Chris, who we got next, brother? We'll get to your comments. We'll get to your comments right after this, guys. We'll get to your
Yokozuna, Harry. We got your boys, man. The jokers you used to roll with, the Four Horsemen, boy.
Oh, hey. What can you say about the Four Horsemen, man? If you don't know,
everybody every time, but they were jumping folk. That's what they say.
If you don't know, you don't know, man. If you don't know, then you need to go back every little YouTube video you can find of them. And look, I'm talking about the group that's going in. I'm talking about Nature Boy Ric Flair. I'm talking about Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard and Barry Windham. I know people sit here and say Ole and Arn, Tully, and Rick was the best. No. That group that's went into the Hall of Fame, that was the best group. They had all the titles, man. They had all the titles. And it could not
made a title. They even made a title for Barry, man. They even made a title for Barry.
Yeah. Well, no, Barry had the United States Championship. He was the United States champion.
No, they made a title for him too.
When?
The Western States Championship.
Oh yeah, the Western Heritage Championship. He won that a couple years later.
What they called it the Western States.
Yeah, it was You sure it wasn't called the Western Heritage? It was called Western Heritage States.
Western States, yeah, Western States. I don't know if it was Heritage, but they called the. I remember Western States
It
for
was
sure.
Heritage. It was Heritage. I think either way it go, Western States. States was in there, but it was in there. But
I'm like, dog, they making a title.
Yeah, they made that title. But yeah, he was the United States champion. Well, he took the United States title off of Lex Luger. Okay, when Lex Luger won it, when they split up because they was world heavyweight champions, and then Barry turned on him and joined the Four Horsemen, and people couldn't believe that. They couldn't believe it. And I was telling Braden, I was talking to Braden saying how he loved Barry Windham. And he used to go 60 minutes and stuff. I told him, I said, him and Rick had 90. They had like 3 90-minute matches. It was they did it in 1 week. They had 3 90-minute matches. I still had a wrestling magazine, and I remember one of
the 60-minute matches was in Colombia.
Oh yeah. But I saw one of the 90-minute matches. That thing was long, man. But those guys. Ric Flair did. He was no stranger to him though, man. Ric Flair had 90-minute matches with Steamboat, so he was no stranger to it. But Barry Windham, gosh, man, this Joker, what he added to that group, it just was much more than what Ole had, and Ole was a little long in the tooth. So I'm gonna end up saying that. But Ole was never the wrestler Barry Windham was. Never.
Oh, no.
Barry, one of the greatest of all times. You talking about technical ability? I mean, outstanding, and to be 6'7", be that big. Barry was better than his father, Blackjack Mulligan, and Blackjack Mulligan.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, Blackjack Mulligan was a killer, but he was better than Blackjack Mulligan, and of course, he was better than his other brother, Kendall.
Man, look, man, you were better than Kendall, and you ain't even wrestle.
Exactly. But yeah, Barry Windham was so spectacular, man. And me and my brother talks about him, and my brother tell you like that. He'll tell you real quick. But Barry Windham, I remember when he turned, man, and the next week he came in and he was out there with the Four Horsemen, and he called out Lex Luger. He said, "Lex Luger, if you think you're a better wrestler than me, you out there flipping by." Look, that was something that didn't need to be said. Lex Luger was more popular at that time. Barry Windham was very popular, but Lex Luger was more popular because Lex Luger, he was the total package, man. His look and everything. Everybody.
But I still say the Lex Luger with the beard was the best version, boy.
Oh gosh, man, incredible.
That was the best version of Lex, man.
He did not bring that to WCW. He had that in Florida, and when he
should have brought it
to WCW. He was God Almighty, and that swagger he had with that beard, that swagger, and he was being managed by Sir Oliver Humperdinck. He should have brought Humperdinck with him to the Mid-Atlantic, and he should have kept the beard, and he should have been, they was taking it was basically a takeoff of Hulk Hogan, though. Hulk Hogan and classy Freddie Blassie.
Yeah.
Because Lex Luger would wear that, the same, he would wear like a little cape thing, and he was, Sir Oliver Humperdinck took it off of him. He had that beard, and I mean, he was just cut up, man. But he was, in my opinion, he was a better Hulk Hogan. He just was, man. He looked better. But yeah, I never forget when Barry turned on him. But remember, Lex Luger was in the group before Barry was. Was a horseman. Lex was a good horseman.
Lex didn't want to do it for JJ, man. He didn't want to do it.
Exactly.
He didn't want to do it for JJ, man.
And that's what happened. Like you said,
he would have did it for JJ. Barry would have never been a horseman.
And Barry, when Lex first when he first left the Horseman, a few weeks later, Barry Windham and Barry Windham and Lex Luger as a tag team took the titles off not Ole, but Arn and Tully. They took their titles. Yeah. And Ric Flair and all those came out there, J.J. Dillon and all that, said, we're going to have a new horseman, because everybody at that time was doing the Four Horsemen down. Remember that, Chris? Mm-hmm. Everybody was laughing, doing the Four Horsemen down. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I remember that.
Yeah. That was huge. That's what made them so special. I haven't seen a group like that. And somebody needs to get a group to where everybody is laughing, like the Bloodline. The Bloodline, when they went down, if you could get it where it had that same fanfare where everybody was laughing at them like they used to do the Horsemen. Anytime the Horsemen would go down, like Ole, when he got out of the group, everybody was doing that. when Lex Luger got out of the group, everybody was doing that. So, you know, when you can get that in every arena,
all you had to do was do it for pictures.
Yeah, when you can get that, man, then you know you have something special. But I remember, you know, I thought they was done. Because hold on for a second. Hold on. Goodness sake. Goodness sake. What's going on?
Okay, guys. So, but yeah. So, yeah. So that version of the Horseman, man, Flair, Barry, Arn, and Tully, man, that was a very, very good group, man. And they had a long, sustained run, guys. A very long, sustained run. So, yeah. And that this time, this actually made Rick a 2-time WWE Hall of Famer. And it was good to see the Horsemen back together, man. And it was good, and it was great that Dusty was the one to actually put them in the Hall of Fame because he had the most run-ins with the Horsemen. So it was perfect. It was perfect that he, you know, was, you know, the one inducting them in. Welcome back, hey. Welcome back, hey.
Yeah, thanks, man. My wife, Angela, fell asleep on the couch, and you know she went to work at 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah,
got off at 2. She fell asleep on the couch, and she started screaming to me, man. She thought she was late for work, man. She was thinking it was the next day. She was so.
Oh my god!
She scared me, man. You know, she's screaming my name, man. I'm just like, oh shoot, man. I'm thinking some, you know, health problems. So I thought she had did something to fail or something. So, you know, I ran in there. I'm just like, oh, my goodness. Or the dog had, you know, fell over and it looked like it was, you know, something got sick. But wow. So,
well, that was one of them good sleeps. But when you wake up, you don't know what's going on.
We've all been there. We've all been there, you know. But yeah, I don't know where you left off, man. But yeah.
Yeah, but I was just talking about the Horsemen, how good it was because I was getting ready to move on to the next group. And telling them that it was no better person to actually induct them than Dusty Rhodes because he had so many run-ins with them jokers. It was ridiculous, man.
It's not really much else you can really say. Like, you know, you don't know the Horsemen, you don't know their story. But go back and look at the Horsemen, man. And guys, I'm gonna tell you, look at them between 85 and 88. That 3-year run, it's nothing like that. I know everybody wanted, you know, they come out here and they talk about factions. Never been anything like it. We had the NWO. Now the NWO, if they would have stayed at probably about 5 members, they probably could have duplicated. They probably could have been better. Yes, the NWO was more popular because the NWO was it engulfed the nation. You know, there's no ins and buts about that. But it was not. There was nothing like that 4 Horsemen. That 4 Horsemen thing was just. It was incredible. And
it was a good one, man. It was a good one.
Let's say only thing that really, what really messed that up is when what Tully and Arn went up to the WWE, and Tully could not come back. They could have got it back the way it should have been, but Tully could not come back. Because I think he failed a drug test or something like that. So he could not come back to WCW, even though Rick and all those guys were, they was campaigning, they was trying to get him back. But you had a lot of different changes. If Jim Crockett was in charge, I'm pretty sure they would have brought him back. But they couldn't get him back. And so they tried all. That's when they started trying all these different things. Rick really didn't want to do it. J.J. Dillon, even though J.J. was still affiliated with him, and Arn Anderson, JJ, every week, JJ be like, 4 Horsemen, we got to get that, back. Rick was just looking like, I don't think Rick was really interested in it, until Arn talking about it. And then they put Paul Roma in there, man. What the heck? I'm just that was crazy. All right, man, let's move on to the next next group.
So
move on. Let's get the comments, man.
Okay.
Comments.
All right, what did we stop off at? Where did we stop off at? You already got what did you we had Brady.
Victoria deserves a Hall of Fame spot. Last thing.
Yes, she does. She does. Brayden says, yes, man, McKee, the gathering is going to be very fun. I'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
Brayden said, I say the authors are paying it, going into the Hall of Fame, and Eva Uno and Top Dollar
Man, come on, Braden. No, come on now, man.
Yeah,
Why did
man.
you then I stop watching wrestling, boy?
Now I can see AOP. Now I can see AOP now getting in there, but I don't know about the
No,
other two.
Chris.
I don't know about the other two claims.
They got to do a lot more, man. You know that too.
Hey. All right, man. Braden said I love watching old matches of Yoko. Okay, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Braden says I still love Bam Bam Bigelow. He was so athletic for his size. He really was.
Sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So the last one in this class of 2012, man, the one and only Iron Mike Tyson, inducted by D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H, man. Harry, this is your man. Take it away, boy. Take it away. This is your man. Boy.
I remember when this Joker was coming up, man.
He was running with you, wasn't he?
No, he ran on the independent circuit. I remember he was on the independent circuit. He was fighting in heavyweights, and he was really good. He was really good on the independent circuit, but I thought he was too short to dominate the heavyweight division like that. When I was amateur boxing. He boxed in Cleveland, Ohio, on a card that on an indie show that I did on the East Regional. That's the only time I saw him in person. I didn't get to meet him or anything like that. Cat brought him in. The guy who was his trainer, Cus D'Amato. He brought him in late, coming in. So he was one of the late entries to come in, and he just dominated the heavyweight division. And I saw him. He took out two guys. He beat one guy, and then he came up for the final, and he won the East Regional for the heavyweights. Then next thing you know, this guy's on the heavyweight scene. I did not think. I'm like, okay, you had Tim Witherspoon back then. You had Larry Holmes. You had Michael Spinks, who had just went heavyweight. You had a lot of different guys at that time. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Mike Tyson's coming up. He's beating some, he's beating up these guys on ESPN. He's just beating guys out. He's just knocking them out in the first round. Yeah, I'm like, okay. But once he gets to start getting to these big guys, Henry Tillman and people like that, they're going to stop him. These guys like 6'4", 250, 260, he's going to have a hard time. Let's see how he does against them. And he started fighting those guys. He got in with Henry Tillman. Let's see. I think Witherspoon. I think a couple other guys. Yeah, he was knocking them out just like he was knocking these other guys out. And then he had he started having some tough fights against some guys. There's a couple guys who took him pretty much the distance, but they was getting busted up. I'm like, this guy right here. Now, he was incredible to see, man, when he was an amateur, because, he was just knocking people out. We boxed with headgear on.
Yeah.
He was knocking everybody out in the amateurs. Everybody. I knocked some guys out. He knocked out everybody. So I'm like, wow, this guy's special, man. This guy's special. And, hey, we all know how everything all turned out, but he was real good. He was real good until, he ended up with Don King. Don King ended up getting his contract. He was young, 21 years old. His Cus D'Amato, who basically had trained him. Cus D'Amato had passed away, and then right after that, he had the guy who was his manager pass away too, like a year or two after that, and he was pretty much left vulnerable. And then he had one other manager who was a partner of his manager who had died, and he felt he didn't have anybody. And end up, here come Don King, after the people that pretty much guided him was passed away. Everybody except for Kevin, I forgot his name, the guy who was his trainer. He pretty much came up in that camp. Don King came in, and he pretty much had Mike Tyson fire him. And Mike Tyson, he had left the other guy who pretty much came up with him, but he wasn't close to Tyson. And Don King ended up getting a contract with Mike Tyson. And I guess Don King just thought this guy could fight. He could fight and beat up. He used to beat up grown men back in the day when he was back at 12 years old back in the neighborhood. The guy could actually just fight. But the thing about it, Don King brought him in there. When Don King brought him in, Don King had him partying, drinking, doing anything that he wanted to do. The discipline went out the window. And it's sad, Because Don King just thought everybody was afraid of Mike Tyson. He's just going to beat up everybody, that all that stuff was natural. But when you had boxers like Evander Holyfield and people like that who were smart fighters, even though Mike Tyson physically should have beat those guys, you know, when he did not have Kevin Rooney, without Kevin Rooney, Mike Tyson, all that stuff that he used to do in the ring, all that ducking and diving and going in and everything that he used to do, all that stuff went out the window, man. That's how he ended up losing to Buster Douglas. He just stood still and just went straight at him and just, wasn't doing the things that Cus D'Amato had taught him, wasn't doing the things that Kevin Rooney had trained him to do. And like I say, he was not training hard. So he ended up losing the match, man, ended up losing that fight. But hey, we know his legacy. He went into, he done a couple a couple WrestleManias and everything. And basically he's going in because of that. But of course, because of the huge name in the boxing world, huge name in the sports world, one of the icons outside of Michael Jackson and probably another Mike. So 3 Mikes outside of Michael Jackson. At that time back in the 80s, 80s, early 90s, outside of Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, and outside of those two, probably the most famous name in the world, man. Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, and Mike Tyson. All of them are Mike. Incredible, man. That was incredible at that time. But yeah, so Mike Tyson definitely deserved to get in, man. He definitely deserved to get in. I'm happy that he's in the Hall of Fame. Hey, what else can we ask? You got Mike Tyson in there. This was an incredible class, man. 2012 was a great class. Let's see. AJ, what's up, man? AJ Scales is in the house. All right, let's see. AJ Scales says, hey, Harry and Chris, Batista should have been in the Hall of Fame. Also, Gail Kim should have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay, yeah, Batista. I believe he will get there, and Gail Kim probably will too. All right, we got I can't even really, I do not know this name. Sorry about that. Hey, this guy right here has been coming in. I appreciate you coming in and checking out the Straight Up Wrestling Show. I 100% do. Banica Barn or whatever. I can't say your name. I really can't. But I appreciate you coming in, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. But guys, that's our 2012 class, and hopefully Chris will be back here soon. But that was a really good class, guys. Let me recap it. Guys. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna recap the whole class. But let me go on my tablet and pretty much find the class, bring the class up. But yeah, very good class, guys. Very good class. I can't say, I have to say that's one of the best class, if not the best class that we've had so far. Edge, and he was inducted by his best friend, Christian. We have Mil Mascaras, inducted by Alberto Del Rio. We had Ron Simmons, man, inducted by his friend, John Bradshaw. Layfield, what a great tag team they were, man. They was a very good tag team. Big Yokozuna, man. Yokozuna inducted by his family members, man. Jimmy Uso and Jay Uso. Yokozuna was something, man. He was something. The Four Horsemen, man, look, I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again. Ric Flair, Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, J.J. Dillon, and they had all the main titles. They had the World Heavyweight Champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair, recognized throughout the world as the World Heavyweight Champion. Barry Windham was the United States Heavyweight Champion. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard was the World Tag Team Champions. They all had the belts, and you can find a picture of those guys all holding those belts up. But they had the top belts in the in the country at that time, in the world. If you ask me, now you got to throw in Hulk Hogan's title, the WWE title. That was one of the top titles at the time. But the top belts, man, the top tag team belts, top World Heavyweight Championship belt, and I got to put Barry Windham's. I have to put his United States title over the Intercontinental Championship. Ric Flair's WCW World Championship, it was NWA Championship. I put it over, even though Hulk Hogan was more popular. His title, Ric Flair's title, was the real World Championship. when it boils down to it. That's the way most people looked at it even back then. Even though Hulk Hogan was worldwide known, Ric Flair, that title just was so respected. And Ric Flair carried that thing with so much grace, and he carried it. He brought so much class and attention to the NWA because of that World Heavyweight Championship. But man, yeah, what an incredible group, the Four Horsemen and Mike Tyson. Like I said, Mike Tyson, icon, American icon, and all the things that he did for boxing was just unbelievable, man. All right, AJ Skills. Let's see. Hey, Harry, the Big Show should have been in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure he's going to get there, AJ. I know he's going to get there. There's no ins, ands, or buts about that. All right, let's see. Yeah, Braden, very good class, all well deserving. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So right now, man, the WWE Hall of Fame, number 4, who's in it and who shouldn't be there. We discuss in depth. Get ready. Like say, hey, everybody, like you just said, Braden, everybody's deserving to be there. So we cannot, we can't go and say it's nobody I can say that didn't deserve to be there, man. But I'm gonna move on over to 2013. And I don't see Chris in just a minute. I'm just gonna roll through this one real quick. 2013 was a small class from what I'm looking at. But first inductee, man, we had Bruno Sammartino. Bruno Sammartino was inducted by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Second inductee, man, we had Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. Hey, he'll always be Cactus Jack to me. No Mankind, no Mick Foley, no what else? He had another name too, but yeah, Cactus Jack. He was inducted by another madman, Terry Funk. Terry Funk, like I say, I love Terry Funk, but the Terry Funk that I remember is the Terry Funk from the 70s. Great individual wrestler, man. Incredible. Just like his brother, Terry Funk could do so many different things, and in the 80s, Terry Funk, up until like the late 80s. In the late 80s, he became the hardcore Terry Funk that started doing all that ECW stuff that he ended up doing and got so legendary for. Only thing I can really say about that is Terry Funk was able to prolong his career by doing that. But yeah, Terry Funk, great, man. And for Mick Foley to get inducted by him, man, that says a lot. All right, we have Bob Backlund, inducted by Maria Nunes. Okay, Maria Nunes. I'm not sure if I even know who that person is. To be honest, Chris probably does, but Maria Nunes. I don't know who that person is. I know the name, but I don't know who that is. All right, Trish Stratus. Oh yeah, and definitely Trish Stratus inducted by Stephanie McMahon. But let me go back and talk about Bob Backlund. Just like Bruno Sammartino and Bob Backlund. If you ask me, the quintessential WWF or the WWF champions, WWE world champions. They number 1 and number 2 as far as the longest reign in WWE history. I know they try to pull some things back from Bob Backlund and say that who was it? Roman Reigns broke his title run, but Bob Backlund had the thing for 5.5 years, man. Bruno Sammartino had an 8-year run, and then he had a 3-year run. But Bob Backlund sold out Madison Square Garden, man. Sold that thing out probably, I think, 135 times, 132. I don't know, man. He sold it out a lot. Bruno Sammartino sold it out a lot. But Bob Backlund was, man, he was a great champion. Great champion. You talk about technical, scientific wrestling. Man, there's not many that was better than him. There's only a couple I can say that I've seen better than him. If you look at Chad Gable, you look at Chad Gable, you love what Chad Gable does, go back and look at Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund was, man, he was special. I'd say he's better at that than my man Chad Gable. And that's saying a lot. He's better at it. Bob Backlund was one of the best technical wrestlers I ever seen. Kurt Angle, Bob Backlund got him beat too. Even though Kurt, I know they was Olympians and everything, but Bob Backlund, man, Bob Backlund was incredible. That's all he did. Every single thing that he did in the ring, was, his whole package was pretty much built into that technical style of wrestling. Now, when he came back as the Maniac, came back as a bad guy, and all that stuff, I didn't really pay attention to him. I really didn't. I didn't want to see Bob Backlund like that. I did not want to see him like that. And I remember when he came and he did all that, I understood why he did it because, pretty much they pretty much tarnished his legacy and everything. He came back as a madman. Now, that Bob Backlund, I did not pay attention to. And that's, if you look at that picture that we have put up, Bob Backlund was doing that. He was pretty much showing everybody that he was a maniac or whatever. And a lot of fans will remember him for that. All right. Oh, yeah, Dude Love. Appreciate that, Braden. I remember that Dude Love thing. I really hated that. But you know what? I can see Cactus Jack. I can see Mick Foley doing something like Dude Love. I remember that. That was a trip. All right, AJ Skills. Hey, Harry. Stone Cold Steve Austin was inducted into the Hall of Fame by Vince McMahon. Do you think The Rock will be inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2025 next year? I'm not sure, AJ Styles. I wouldn't have no problem with it, though. I wouldn't have no problem with him going in right now. That's early for him. But to tell you the truth, he should have already been in there. I thought he was already in. All right, Brayden says, wow, that's a lot of big names for one class. Bruno, Mick, and Backlund. Wow, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah, 2013 had a big class, man.
Yeah, that's a great class.
All right, who you thought was already in?
Yeah, I thought Rock was already in.
No, man, no, he ain't in.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, Green Randall was saying, AJ Skill said, do you think that he'll be in 2025? If not, like I say, he should be. God, I thought he was in.
No,
all right, AJ Skills. Harry, not only Vince McMahon inducted The Undertaker and, in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Yeah, man, look. Rock deserves to be in, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, let me go. Let's get back to this, where I was at. Okay. All right, man. Yeah, Chris, who is the person who inducted Bob Backlund? Maria Menounos. Who is that?
She is a media person. I think she works for like CBS or NBC or one of them companies like that, man. Or
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Entertainment on television or something like that. But yeah, she's one of the media. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Bob Backlund. I'm so happy he's in there. So yeah, Bruno Sammartino, even at this time, deserved to be in there, especially Bruno. Mick Foley, yes, he done so much, man, not just for the WWE, for the whole business. Bob Backlund, incredible, yes, deserved to be in. Trish Stratus, inducted by Stephanie McMahon, and when you look at everything that Trish Stratus done for women's wrestling, yes, she deserves to be in. Even the diva, if you just want to look at her as a diva, as far as what she done on that side of the business, she paved the way for a lot of women. So yeah, she definitely deserved to be in. So hey, 2013, that's kind of a little early for her, but I have no problem with it.
You think so?
Huh?
You think? Come on, man. 2013 versus the time she came in, like 1990 something.
She came in, but still, I don't know what time she came in. But her run, to tell you the truth, though, her run went mostly a lot in the 2000s, though, Chris, early 2000s. Well, she was still. I mean, she hadn't been retired for a long time when it came up to 2013. That's so, it. I remember when she got inducted out, I didn't have no problem with it, but I was like, that's kind of early for her. In 2013, she was 37 years old. Okay. Let's see. She was 37. Let's see when she came in to when she actually started. Let's see. And I remember she started in the 90s, but let me look at her run. Okay. Oh, she debuted in 2000, Chris, in wrestling.
Okay.
In wrestling, she
debuted. Years, man. That's 13 years.
No, 2000 to 2006, she was in the WWE. 2000 to 2006, she was in WWE. And so that was a 5-year run there. And look, it's just not that. It's in 2013, she still was heavily in the spotlight, Chris. She still had the magazines. She had everything. She still was very big at that time. Even though she wasn't in the WWE, Chris, her name was so connected to the WWE. All her fame, what you gotta credit all her fame to the WWE.
Yeah.
So everything she did so much at that time, she was doing so much. It seemed like she still was in the WWE, even though I knew she wasn't in there. She still was in the WWE, and she did what I think two more covers of Playboy or something like that after that. So she still was doing things in
she never did do Playboy.
No, not Playboy. What did she do? She did
Muscle magazines. She was in Muscle magazines. She did Muscle magazines.
She was doing that. Yeah.
She was a fitness model.
But yeah, that was what's the name who did two covers of China, and what's the name Brock Lesnar's wife?
Sable.
Yeah, Sable was doing that. So yeah, I got them mixed up there for a minute. But yeah, I know Trish was still heavily in the spotlight. So it seemed like she was still with the WWE. But I had no problem with her going in. But I'm like, this is still fresh in her career. She's still young. She still got some, a lot of youth to her. So, I'm like, this might be a little too early. So that's the only one that I have had doubt on a little bit so far. But yeah, I didn't have no problem when she went in, but maybe not in 2013. Maybe she should have went in like 2015, 2016, 2017, something like that. But I can deal with it. I can roll with it. So yeah, she definitely deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. I can't take that away from her. Nobody can take that away from her. She deserved to be in there, even though I think she got in just a little too early. Booker T, the same thing. I thought Booker T was going in a little too early too.
Wow, man. Wow.
I do. I think he was going in a little too early. Booker T, when did he retire from active competition?
I don't even know.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Let me check that out. I thought he was going in a little too early.
Oh man, that's a good question. Man.
Let's see. I'll find out.
I really don't know.
Yeah, Booker T at that time, Booker T was 48. Let's see. So, age-wise, yeah. But Booker T, okay, I'm looking. I can't find him on let me look at his run as far as in WWE. And plus, there's a lot of things that I didn't like about his run in WWE.
Really?
Yeah, of course, man.
What do you like, man? I mean, the king.
Well, I'll tell you in just a moment. Well, at that time too, I really didn't. I like Booker T, Chris. I really did. I liked him, but I thought about certain things that I didn't like about him. Back when he was in WCW, I didn't like him and his brother. I didn't care for Harlem Heat.
But I love Harlem Heat, boy. Harlem Heat, boy. They were the realest jokers there was, boy. Hey, boy.
I didn't care for Harlem Heat.
Hey, man. Matter of fact, Booker's still looking for Hogan, boy. He's still gonna get him.
Yeah.
He's still gonna get him, boy. He's still gonna get that ninja, boy.
I love that. That was cool. Yeah, he wrestled between 2001, 2007 in the WWE.
Okay.
And first, as soon as he got inducted, you know what I thought about, Chris?
What, man?
Outside of first, okay, Ebony Express, 92, 93, when they started out. I went back to Global Championship Wrestling, started thinking about their run as Harlem Heat and all that. I thought about Steve Austin beating him up in that doggone supermarket.
Oh, man.
That was the first thing I thought about, man. In my opinion, at that time, I just couldn't get stuff like that out of my mind. I'm like, they made him a joke when it boils down to it. Remember before he went there, I mean, he was WCW World Champion. But the WCW World Champion, being a WCW World Champion, when he had it, didn't mean as much.
It didn't mean nothing.
It did. It did.
To be honest with you, it didn't mean nothing.
So yeah, that right there didn't. I look. I know he's WCW World Champion, but that's not part of his legacy. If you ask me, I hated it. I'm like they have what is it? They have down that title. They have demoralized that title so much that it, like you said, Chris, it didn't mean much. It didn't mean nothing.
No.
His best run was when he was a world TV champion, WCW world TV champ. He was a great WCW world TV champ. And if you don't know much about that, go back and watch his feud. Watch his 4 out of 7 series with Chris Benoit. Now I don't know if you can pull those matches up. I don't know where you can find it. I really don't. It wouldn't be on the network.
No.
It wouldn't be on the network. If you can find that on YouTube or you can find it somewhere, you probably have to be like my man Jim Rogers. He just picked up Portland Championship Wrestling, Chris.
Shit.
And that was hard to find. He got it all on disc. Somebody sent him that, or he bought it or whatever. Portland Championship Wrestling. Danny was trying to find that. Yeah, Portland Championship Wrestling, the whole series. So. But yeah,
you love to have your hands on that. But I know you love to have your hands.
Oh, heck yeah, man. But Roddy Piper and all those guys, Dutch Mantel, shoot, yeah, man. Back in their heyday, back when they was really young, yeah, man. But look, if you can find that, because I know somebody got it out there who probably used to record everything. I'm pretty sure could be in a warehouse somewhere. But I'm gonna look it up on YouTube. If you can find that 4 out of 7 series between Booker T and Chris Benoit, man, you found gold.
Oh man,
it's one of the best. Those some of the best matches that I ever seen in my life, man. That was incredible. But that cemented Booker T as one of the best of all time. He was spectacular. Him and Chris Benoit in that. After seeing that, it was that was the Sugar Ray Leonard. That was the Sugar Ray Leonard Tommy Hearns. That was the Tommy Hearns Marvelous Marvin Hagler 3-round fight fest. That was something that you just never forget. That was the Ric Flair Ricky Steamboat trilogy. It was just something you will never forget. If you see that, and it doesn't get the props that it deserves, and the reason that it doesn't, Chris, because we know what happened with Chris Benoit and his family and all that.
Yeah.
But man, that was great. That was one of the greatest things I ever seen. Now they were duplicating, because Jim Crockett Promotions did it earlier. They had Magnum TA versus Nikita Koloff and Magnum TA 4 out of 7, which was incredible, and Nikita Koloff won that. After that, man, Magnum pretty much went down a little bit. But yeah, Booker T, I thought he got in just a little early. I do think he deserved it. I'm like, I want to see him go in, but he might have went in maybe 2 years early, a couple years early. But he deserved to get in. I'm like, they're giving him these accolades too early. But in my opinion, I think the WWE took him up there and pretty much they used him. His name had got really big, and I think they used him. I think they kind of made him like a. They kind of made him.
You think they made him like a joke, man?
They did, and that's the reason why I was against it. I didn't like it because in my opinion, yeah, they made him look like a joke. They really did.
But like I said, the King Booker thing was classic, but King Booker was.
It was. Look, I'm sure Booker is so happy with everything that happened to him in WWE, and he's an icon, man. He's an icon for it. So, but yeah, in my opinion, yeah, they took a lot away from his legacy, and then that WCW World Championship didn't mean nothing. It didn't mean nothing. So it's sad, but it didn't. All right. Yeah. All right, next, man, we had Donald Trump. Hey, Donald Trump.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but Booker T was inducted by his man Stevie Ray. Okay, next we have Donald Trump, and he was inducted by his friend Vince McMahon. Hey, Trump, hey, like him or not, whether you love him or not, love him or hate him. Trump was an icon back in 2013.
That's Vince's man, boy. And you got to think, another reason too, a lot of people may have actually forgotten, man, the reason why Trump was inducted.
Yeah.
He hosted 2 of the WrestleManias. Trump Plaza hosted 2 of the earlier WrestleManias.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
So that's one reason right there. Trump Plaza hosted 2 of the earlier WrestleManias, man. So
wow.
And then plus him and him and Vince,
Vince and
buddy.
Yeah, Vince
They
and
all
Linda,
buddy
they family.
and everything. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
come on now,
Yeah,
that's perfect.
they used to hang out with him and Ivanka. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, either way it go we all know he's an icon, man. Everybody know who he is. Everybody knew who he was back then. He was the man. And and from what we all see right now, he's still the man, even though they're trying to get him. They doing everything, they throwing everything at him to get him. But hey, this was a great class, Chris. 2013
yes,
was a great class. All right, let's get all the comments, man. Get the rest of the comments here.
Okay, where we at, man? Yes, where we at here? Where we at, man? Where we at? I'm trying to find out where we was at. Stopped off at. I'm trying. Where do you stop off?
Yeah, well, let's see. Wow, that's a lot of big names. Okay, Braden. Okay, we at AJ.
Okay, AJ right here.
Yeah. I think I read that, but let's go. Yeah, that's the last one I read.
Okay. Hey Harry, Stone Cold Steve Austin was inducted to the Hall of Fame by Vince McMahon. Do you think? Okay, yeah, you read that one.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was
the
last one I read.
Braden said, "Wow, a lot of big names for one class: Bruno, Mick, and Bob Backlund. Wow, yeah." AJ Skill said, "Harry not only Vince inducted, also inducted the Undertaker. Yes, he did.
Yep, yes, sir."
Braden says, "Man, I thought The Rock was in there too. He's not in there yet.
Yeah, I thought he was.
He's just a legend, man. He's just a legend." AJ, hey Harry, Chavo Guerrero inducted his uncle Eddie Guerrero into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he did. We ain't got there yet. We're gonna get there. She did talking about Trish debuted in 2000.
Braden said. Thanks, Braden. Thanks.
AJ said, "Hey Harry, Triple H inducted once with D-Generation X in the Hall of Fame, but not by himself. No, he's not in there by himself yet. And we're gonna get to that class here pretty soon too, guys. We're gonna get there too. All right, but yeah, guys, that was a good class, man. So
yeah, it was.
Moving right along, man. Next class,
2014,
man. You got and this happened on April 5th, 2014 in New Orleans, Louisiana, man, at the Smoothie King Center. Yeah, you had the Ultimate Warrior inducted by Linda McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
Jake the Snake Roberts inducted by DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. You had Lita inducted by Trish Stratus. Then you had Paul Bearer inducted by Kane. Then you had Carlos Colon Sr. inducted by Carlo Colito, Eddie, and Orlando Colon.
Oh, wow.
Then you had Razor Ramon, who was inducted by Kevin Nash, and Mr. T, who was inducted by Mean Gene Oakland.
Oh, okay. This something to talk about here, man. Right.
Harry gonna say half of these jokers don't need to be in there, but get them out of there.
Goodness sake, man. Well, the Ultimate Warrior, he was sick at this time?
No, he wasn't sick.
You sure? Well, he died, about 9 days later?
Yeah, he had that heart attack, that massive heart attack, man. But he
he had that heart attack. Yeah, he wasn't sick. I'm sorry. Well, he died, 3 days later?
Because let me see. His final promo was that Monday after WrestleMania when he did that famous promo he did. Then I think he died on that Tuesday or that Wednesday.
He died April 8th. This was on April 5th.
3 days, man. So let me see. That was a Saturday, Sunday. So he died that Tuesday.
Man, he might have been having some health problems already, Chris.
I don't know.
Look, I'm trying to think back how I was feeling when the Ultimate Warrior, when they put him in.
But you didn't think he needed to be in there. That's what you think, man.
No. I had no problem with him going in. But I had some thoughts. When they first announced him, I'm like, but then I'm like, nobody, when it boils down to it, Chris, nobody pulled a crowd like that. I mean, they had the crowd in a frenzy like that. Even Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
In the WWE.
Now, one thing I love about this, and y'all guys got to go back and see this, if you already haven't seen it, Ultimate Warrior, man, really, this was the first time you've seen Ultimate Warrior since he had that falling out with Vince, and that was a while.
Yeah.
That was a while. So he had some making up to do, man. He had some major making up to do. He made up with
so that's good. What you're talking about, what you're touching on right now. That's what I thought about when I heard that he was going into the Hall of Fame. That's what I thought about. And I'm like, maybe they shouldn't put him in there, but I was like, man, this guy, he was a phenomenon.
He was. They definitely caught lightning in the bottle with him.
Yeah, I don't think, in my opinion, in that short run that he had, I don't think at that time they didn't have anything that was bigger than that. Nothing. I mean, Hulk Hogan was huge, but Hulk Hogan was it was a fire, but it was an ongoing fire. It was one of those fires that you have in your house that you continue, like you sit around maybe every hour, 2 hours, you go and check on it and you throw a log in it. But Ultimate Warrior was a fire that you continue to feed. You take some of those fire sticks that you have that makes it burn a lot more. It was one of those charcoals. You putting maybe lighter fluid on it, and it continues to go up, and you're throwing more kindling on that for like 3 hours straight, and that fire just continues to build. That was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yep.
He was just incredible, man. He come out there, he running out to the ring. He jumps in the ring for a minute, 2 minutes, and did his thing, and everybody just going crazy. Only one thing I can equate to that. Only one thing I can pretty much put up against that, and that happened in the NWA, and that was the Road Warriors. That was the only pop that I could say that was like that. But the thing about the Road Warriors, it was from the entryway, from the door to the ring. The Road Warriors. Once they got into the ring, it died down. Ultimate Warriors didn't die down. Ultimate Warriors was from the entry, as soon as he walked through the curtain, all the way down
into the ring, walked back.
Until he walked back, exactly, and shaking the ropes and everything. It was all, it was a frenzy the whole time.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys, man, and it's funny because he was telling, some of the old timers was funny. It was telling them, hey, man, you don't need to be doing this, man. You don't need to be doing this, and you don't need to be doing that, man. And
right.
And stuff, running down, you're going to get blowed up, man. You're going to get tired, man. You ain't going to have nothing for the match. That's why his matches were so quick. Because after all that running and shaking the ropes and running around the ring and doing all that, he was tired. So all he could do was a clothesline, big boot and a slam and a splash. That's all he had. That's all he could do. And Hogan, and Hogan even said it at WrestleMania match that they had. They was only like 5 to 10 minutes in the match, and he was already telling Hogan, hey, let's go home. Let's go home. Let's finish this. Hogan's like, oh no. He's like, he's like, this is the biggest match of your career. You're gonna wrestle this match, boy.
Oh yeah.
And Hogan was like, I don't care how tired you are, just follow my lead and I got you.
Yeah.
But he's like, but you gonna wrestle this match, boy. You ain't gonna be no 5 seconds and you out of here. Oh no, we ain't doing that.
I mean, think about it, man. How many muscular guys that that can sprint like that and not be tired, man? I mean, just sprint and go in the ring, shake up the ropes. That takes a lot. Okay. A 2-minute match or whatever, you're gonna be dead tired. That's why in boxing, they's like, don't let your muscles get too big. You got to hold them arms up, man. There's guys that got muscular. There's some guys that was just natural. But man, if you putting on all that muscle,
and you know what they were doing at the time too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes,
Ultimate Warrior, he would wear himself out, man. It was flat out crazy.
And that's what everybody was like, man, he can't wrestle. Well, you run down to the ring and shake the ropes and run around the ring and then see how much energy you got left. And you weighing about 270, 275, almost 300 pounds.
Yeah, you didn't have a partner to tag out like Hawk and Animal did.
Nope.
And Hawk and Animal really didn't run. They will run to the ring every now and then. They will wait to right at the guardrail, at the end of the guardrail. And then they'll, after they done slap 5, and then they'll run into the ring. But for the most part, they was walking. They was walking real fast. They were walking fast. But at a pace, they paced themselves and they run into the ring after that. But no, this knucklehead, he go flying into the ring
and you saw them WrestleMania entrances. They were long, boy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about at least about 45, 30 yards long.
Yeah.
And wrestle. I mean, you were running. Okay, man. y'all, hear me, y'all. You weighing 275 bare minimum. Of solid muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the lightest I would give Ultimate Warrior. 275.
Yeah.
You running 30 to 35 yards fast as you can. And then you run around the ring. Then you get up on the ring. You run up and down the apron. Then you shaking them ropes. And you all jacked up. It don't stop there. You got to have a match.
Yeah.
Hey, you ain't, man, But but it worked for him, though. It worked for him.
He's pressing wrestlers over his head and everything.
So he could only have like a couple of minutes in there, and then it was over.
Yeah,
but so Hogan at WrestleMania was like, "Look, you gonna wrestle this match, but I'm gonna help you through it because I know you ain't got nothing in the tank. I know you ain't got nothing in the tank, but I'm gonna help you through it." And that's what he did, man. So. And then he became, heavyweight champion and carried that thing for a while and, did stuff and, became an icon and had a comic book out that I wish I still had to this day because I can't find it nowhere. It was pretty decent. It was a pretty decent comic book.
I remember it.
Yeah. And I wish I still had it to this day, but I don't. But, Ultimate Warrior, he was something special. But like I said, when he came into the Hall of Fame, he had a lot of making up to do.
Yeah, he did.
He had a lot of making up to do because there was bad blood on his side and WWE.
What? Yeah. Go ahead, Chris. But no, I thought about that, Chris. What you were saying? Yeah, he had a lot of bad blood, man. A lot of making up to do. And I was thinking, how is that gonna look? How is that gonna play out? How's they gonna play out? How they gonna accept him? And so that was my only that's the only thing that really pretty much made me have a second thought about him being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I like, okay, if y'all gonna do it. But and then it was real shocking when he had like you say, he had that massive heart attack. But I was thinking like say, because he wasn't sick, man. Yeah, he ended up dying. It was all of a sudden. It was all of a sudden. All right, next, man, we had Jake Roberts inducted by Diamond Dallas Page. Cool.
Yeah, and this was cool too, man, because this was right after the time when if you watch that Diamond Dallas Page thing, Resurrection of Jake Roberts, this is a few years, I want to say, maybe 2 or 3 years after they did that documentary. And this was a time when they brought in Jake and they brought in Scott Hall too into Diamond's house. And if you haven't watched that documentary, I definitely say go watch it. The Resurrection of Jake Roberts. And Jake was bad shape, boy. Jake was in bad shape. You seen that, haven't you, Harry?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Jake was in bad shape. The Joker could hardly walk, couldn't hardly do nothing, man. He was in bad shape. And overweight, drugs, and Jake was rough. And luckily for him, man, DDP was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you guys in. I'm gonna put you on my yoga program, and we're gonna get y'all back right, man. We're gonna get you fixed up, get your health together, and we're gonna help you physically, and we're gonna help you mentally, and we're gonna help you emotionally, and we're gonna get you back with your family and everything, man, and everybody's gonna be good. And that's what he did. And you saw Jake when he came back, man. Jake looked great, man. He looked great. He felt great. And then they brought in Scott Hall, who was actually in that class, this class of Hall of Fame. We'll talk about him too because he was on the documentary.
Man, I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, Jake the Snake. I'm glad he got inducted. He definitely deserved to be inducted. I wish he never would have went to WWE.
Man, that's where he made his biggest impact.
Man, it is. It is. He was big before he went there, though. I mean, he was. But
he was a monster when he got there, though.
Man, he was already, man. His best run to me was Georgia Championship Wrestling. Mid-Atlantic, and he went from Mid-Atlantic.
He was wearing the karate pants.
Man, that joke was. No, he was wearing he didn't wear karate pants when he first came in. He was he looked like Barry. He looked like Barry Windham when he first came into Mid-Atlantic. That was around 81, Chris. You got to go all the way back, Chris. You was 4 years. You 4 years old at that time, Chris? Way back, man. Look, I'm talking about back when I was 14 years old, man. I've been watching Jake the Snake Roberts for a long time, Chris. By the time he got to the WWE, he had already been, already had been watching him probably. When did he go to WWE? It was mid-90s?
No, I want to say late 80s.
No, I mean 80s. 80s. I mean 80s.
Yeah,
okay.
80s, man. 80s.
Yeah, by the time he got there, I had been watching him about maybe 6 years or something. I don't know why in the world I said 90s. But I already had been watching Jake the Snake Roberts. I had watched this run in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling with Jim Crockett Promotions. And then I watched this run in Georgia Championship Wrestling. This guy. Now, when I first seen him, he was a good guy. Now, he was Ricky Steamboat, Chris. Believe me. He was Ricky Steamboat, helping everybody, the nicest guy in the world. When he put it like that, when he became a heel,
that don't even sound right, but that don't even sound right.
When he became a heel, Chris, I know you guys don't believe it. When he became a heel, Chris, I was stunned. I was stunned when he became a heel. It really hurt my heart, man. I'm telling you, it hurt me bad, man. I'm serious. It hurt me, man, when that Joker became a heel. Now, he became a heel in Georgia Championship Wrestling, but I was always thinking, hey, he's gonna come to his senses. He's gonna become a fan favorite again. But as a heel, man, in Georgia, he was killing people. In the Georgia Championship Wrestling, he was in Georgia, but it was WCW. They was already had the name change and everything, and it was going all over the country. And Jim Crockett Promotions was involved with it too. He was killing people, man. He was devastating, fast, quick, incredible. When the WWE still good. Now, still good in WWE. In my opinion, WWE didn't have the caliber of wrestlers that can really match up with him to make him the kind of guy that he actually was as far as a wrestler. The gimmick started with the snake. He was already called Jake the Snake Roberts, but they started bringing the snake out with him and everything. I hated that. I hated it. But then I started seeing some problems with Jake the Snake Roberts on down the road. I could see the alcoholism was, things that was affecting him, that he was getting into maybe, drugs and everything. I started seeing that later on in his career in the WWE. And I'm like, was that moment too big for him? Is he really getting into his gimmick, thinking he's one of these crazy people or something like that? And it bothered me, man. It really did. Because I'm going back to the Jake the Snake Roberts of my childhood, the Jake Roberts, and then Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm going back to that, and man, he was one of my heroes. Like I say, he was Ricky Steamboat, man. He actually used to come out and team up with Ricky Steamboat, Jay Youngblood, early Blackjack Mulligan Jr., which was Barry Windham. He would go out and always help these guys out, man. He was the guy. He was the guy that you turned to when the teams of when the Blackjack Mulligans was killing people, the Ole Anderson, the Stan Hansons was killing people. The guy that you could turn to that came in to even up the fight, that was Jake the Snake Roberts. Was that was the Jake the Snake? And see, that's what I'm saying, man. You saw a totally different Jake the Snake Roberts, and every time I saw him, man, I would look at him and I'm like, I long for the days. And as good as he was, as Jake the Snake Roberts, as good as he was, and as good as that gimmick was, I long for the days of the Jake the Snake Roberts that I used to know.
Man, I can't even picture it in my mind, but you can pay me $1 million
in your mind,
man. But I'm trying to tell you, man, the Jake the Snake that I know, man, the WWE Jake Snake, best of all time, man. Best of all time.
Well, you like I say, you didn't see him before. You didn't see
Harry. But I'm trying to tell you, man, I ain't even talking about the wrestling. Let's talk about the promos.
His promos, he's always been good at promos, Chris. I know that.
But man, when he got behind that, when that machine got behind
great,
it,
and he would hold the snake. He would do all kind of things.
I ain't even talking about the snake, man. I'm just talking about him without the snake. man.
Because of course.
Talk so low.
But man, look.
And he would draw you in, and you have to get up on the TV and see what he's saying. And then he'll raise his voice and tell you what.
Hey, look. They never put him over the way he should have been put over, if you ask me.
Man, what?
Why? I'm saying, why wasn't he never world champ, man?
He didn't need to be. Some people don't need to be world champion, and he was one of them.
Well, he was the best, man. He was the best over there. At certain times, he was the best wrestler they had.
And then that whole thing with him and Macho Man, boy, that whole feud.
Oh yeah.
When I'm trying to tell you, boy, when he got bit by that doggone cobra,
I forgot.
Wow.
But man, look, I just hated the problems that he ended up, that he ended up having over in the WWE. But let's get to comments, Chris, and so we can move on. But yeah, Jake the Snake Roberts definitely deserved to be in. Had no problem with him going in. I just, to this day, man, I just worry about, I was worrying about what was going on with him health-wise. I could see a lot of things that was going to happen to him a little bit later. And then when you start finding out as he was wrestling, what was going on. Okay, Chris, go ahead. And
where we stop off at, man?
Not exactly sure. Let's see. I think we was right. AJ Skills, I think. We stopped off at right here is where we stopped.
Yeah. So Harry said, hey, AJ Skills, hey Harry, Triple H got inducted with DX, but never by himself.
Oh yeah.
Will Riley, are you going to a live stream the Dynasty, Harry, later and Chris? No.
Yeah.
I just no. I just can't. No, I just can't do it. I thought about that thing.
Hey, we both been thinking about it, Riley.
I just can't do it.
Be honest with you, man. I just think, it's just Wednesday and Saturday night. Saturday night they had Collision and Rampage right behind it. They pretty much showed us everything that's going to be there, and every single one of those matches. They had a match last night that these guys were engaged with it, even though it might have been a 6-man tag team match, an 8-man match or whatever. They pretty much gave us everything that they're going to have on this pay-per-view. And I'm just like, it's crazy. All right, Chris, go ahead.
All right. Will Riley, Jake the Snake was one of my favorite wrestlers when I was growing up in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Will Riley, DDP probably saved his life with the help that he did. He did.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And Facebook user, what about Boogie Woogie Man or Stephanie McMahon? What about him, man? Who is that?
Boogie Woogie. You say Boogie Man or Boogie Woogie Man?
Oh, there's a Boogie Man. Oh, Boogie Man does not deserve to be. No. Matthew Lincoln.
Oh, you talking about Jimmy Boogie Woogie Man Valiant?
No, he talking about the Boogie Man, the dude eat the worms, dog. Dude.
Oh, hey, no, not that joke. But yeah,
Stephanie. Stephanie don't deserve it.
Jimmy Valiant already in.
Yeah, she don't deserve it, man. Stephanie don't deserve it.
No, but Jimmy Valiant's already in there.
All right, so let's keep it moving, man. So
most definitely.
Next is Lita, inducted by Trish Stratus.
Okay. Lita inducted by Trish Stratus. I thought Lita went in early. I thought she went in early, but yes, do I think she deserved to be in there? Yes,
I think everybody went in early, boy. God,
yeah, man, she did. She did, Chris.
Well, man, golly, boy, man, somebody could start wrestling in 1940 and they get inducted tomorrow. Hey, like he went in too early. He went in too
I don't
early.
know, man. 2013 seemed like, look, I remember me, you, and Chris. I mean, not me,
Dre.
you, and Chris. Me, you, and Dre. Me, you, and Earl would be sitting there watching her, man. I remember we used to watch her, man, over at the pay-per-views over his house, man. Lita coming out there, woo! You know, not just there watching Monday Night Raw, whatever. Lita Buck coming out, but Lita was something else, man. And look, she was really young at that time. I'm not gonna say she was young in 2013, but she was really young. I mean, well, she was. I think she was a year older than Trish Stratus, about the same age,
somewhere around there.
Yeah, they around the same age, or a year older than Trish Stratus. But I just remember her when she used to come out back in the day when me, you, and Dre used to be watching her. Man, she was young. Come out in them cutoff shirts, beautiful girl. And then when I first seen her going in, I'm thinking that, hey, she's still like that, so that's the reason my first thought of that, because the last I saw of her was like that, because I stopped watching wrestling 2001 2001 or something like that. I stopped watching altogether for a while, but I did see her and all the stuff started happening with Matt Hardy and Edge and all that stuff, all the stuff that she did after that. I started seeing that, but I did not want to see it. So I would see what was going on. And anytime her segments came around, I pretty much didn't pay attention to it because I didn't like that drama that she had got caught up in. I'm like, is that really you? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
but that stuff was real.
That was real. Yeah, that stuff with Edge and Matt Hardy, boy, that was
real. So I did not want to. I didn't want to look at that.
But I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great TV,
I'm sure
man.
You did.
It was crossing that line. Harry was crossing that line, man, between what's reality and what's fiction. And I loved it. Anytime wrestling crosses a line with what's reality, what's fiction, man, it really brings in the audience, man. It really makes you watch. Unless you're a true diehard, Harry fan over here, that just wants to you be Killer Kowalski and Bob Backlund for 80 minutes, some kind of match like that, man. But but that kind of stuff, man, that's good TV, man. It's all about the ratings, but that's good TV.
Hey, everything about good TV is wait a minute. We
already got that. We already
okay, go ahead. Mike D, what's up, Mike D?
In the building. What's up? Demolition with Crush, Kamala, Bam Bam Bigelow, Evil doing Giant Gonzalez in 22. Oh, so that's who you predicting is possibly going in. Okay,
man. Wow.
Okay, cool. All right, AJ Scales. Hey, Harry and Chris. The Rock inducted his father, Rocky Johnson, in the Hall of Fame, and his grandmother in the Hall of Fame in 20. Yep, he did. Well, he actually already inducted his dad. He inducted his dad in class of what class was that? That was
back. It was back there.
Yeah, we discussed it. We discussed that. That was
2009, something like that. I can't remember.
No, it wasn't 2009. It was class of what? That was. Hold on, that was way up here, man.
Yeah, it's way back there, but
yeah, that was a class of. Good Lord, what class was it?
Don't worry about it, man.
Now. But it was one of the classes we already talked about. But yeah, he already inducted his dad. But yeah, his grandmother just got put in this year, though. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll go back to the AJ Skills.
Yeah.
Mike D,
a new subscriber. All right, Mike D. Well, thank you, man, for subscribing, and I hope you hit that like button, man. So you know when we're on, man, because we're not a regularly scheduled podcast. So, hit that notification bell when you know we're on. And speaking of, I hope everybody did that too, man. Any first time viewers, hit that like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Ding, ding, ding when we're on. And if you're on Twitch, do the same thing. You're on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, you already know what to do. Hit that like, share, join. And if you're on X, formerly known as Twitter, hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet, and follow the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Thank you, Mike D, for that, man. Thank you.
Hey, no doubt about it. And welcome to the family.
Yes,
Mike D, man. Everybody's here. Hey, we all friends, man. We call each other friends. You more of a friend than a fan. We appreciate you coming in, Mike D, and rocking with the family, man. And always come here. We always get to your comments. If we don't get to your comments, better believe somebody going to say, hey, did you get Mike D's comment? Whatever.
Exactly.
And we always go back to your comment, man, if we miss it. So definitely come in here and rock with us, man. We always do Raw. We always do SmackDown. We do Dynamite and Rampage. Hey, we might change it around a little bit here. But, hey, we'll let everybody know. But usually we do these lives, man, and we do NXT. So, every now and then I'll come on and do TNA. Chris and I, we used to do, we still do every now and then. Chris and I, we do a lot of independents. Now we do a lot of independents, and we used to do a lot of independents live. So sometimes you might see us going back to that if we have the time. But so definitely, and we do commentary. So definitely look out for that too, man. And whenever we have time to do that, we have a lot of shows on the page that we did commentary on too. So hey, if you ever go back and look into some of those, you'll see that me and Chris on doing commentary tripping. Because that's one thing. Yeah. All right, AJ Scales is in the house. What's up, AJ?
Hey, Harry and Chris, Trish Stratus inducted her opponent leading into the Hall of Fame. Also, Mark Henry is in the Hall of Fame. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Oh, yes, he is. Definitely deserved to be. All right, Chris. So we just got finished talking about Jake. So yeah, Jake, not Jake. Lita. Yeah, definitely deserved to be in. But like I said, man, she represented a youth to me. Even though her coming back now, because when she came in, she was really young. I thought about that youthful young Lita. But first thing I thought about when she came back this last time, that just popped in my head, all that drama that was going on with Matt, Hardy, Edge, and all that stuff, man. I was just like,
I loved it, man.
Oh, I'm sure you loved it, man.
Because it got to the point where you couldn't even have both of them on the same show, man. If one of them came, somebody had to go home or something. Wow, man.
I thought it was crazy, man. I loved it.
I loved it, boy.
All right, man. All right, let's
all right. So next we got Paul Bearer, man, who unfortunately at the time had passed.
Right.
Paul Bearer. I was about to say Paul Heyman. Paul Bearer, man, Undertaker, and Kane. He was inducted by Kane.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Percy Pringle.
Bearer, man. I remember Percy Pringle before he went to the WWE. And this is one.
He was in Texas.
He was in Texas. He was in Memphis. He was in Tennessee first. Back in the 70s. I remember him back in the 70s and the early 80s. But yeah, Percy Pringle. I didn't really care for Percy Pringle, not at all. Not until he became Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer. Yeah, Paul Bearer was still.
Well, yeah, as Paul Bearer, man, Percy Pringle took it to another level. I like that. I liked him a lot as but I was just like, man, this Joker is strange. And I'm like, look, Percy, I know you, Percy. I'm like, when did you become this doggone crazy, man? You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know what? And it worked out great.
Yeah, it worked out. And look,
him teaming up with Undertaker, that was beautiful, man.
I didn't even look at it as a gimmick, Chris. One thing I will say about, now some of the stuff, yeah, I knew that they threw things on people. But Percy Pringle, the way he did that, and he did it so smooth.
Yeah.
He almost had me believing that he was always like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how good he was in that gimmick. I loved it. And I'm like, hey, this is something that seemed like, hey, it was finally brought out when he became the Undertaker's, it became the Undertaker's, his second, his manager or whatever, handling the career of the Undertaker and handling Kane. Now, I just looked at it. I was like, oh, Percy, that was always in Percy.
Yeah.
But you can see certain gimmicks that they threw on people, that made them look foolish, like the red rooster. I mean, just like, come on, Terry Taylor.
Well, you still can't get over that red rooster.
Man, heck no, man. I'm like, come on, Terry.
Yeah, Harry can't let it go, boy. Can't let it go, man. Let it go, man. Let it go, Harry. It's gonna be
I'll never let it go, boy. That ruined Terry Taylor. But I'm just saying, saying, okay, man. But I'm just saying, some things like that, you can actually see that Vince was trying something.
Yeah.
That he was trying to carry it because
and it actually, like I said, it worked great because him and the Undertaker, man, that was a beautiful pairing, man.
Yeah, it was. There's no
Bruce
about
Pritchard
that.
as Buddy Love, man, it worked. But when he introduced Paul Bearer, man, as the manager, and come to find out, he was actually a funeral home
director.
You know, a mortician. He was a mortician.
Yeah,
he was an actual mortician, man. That you couldn't have wrote it nothing better, man. You couldn't have wrote that better if you had to. That was perfect,
that Bruce Pritchard, man. You know, Bruce Pritchard. I always forget that he had a part in that. I always forget that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so that was perfect that they were matched up together, and then and then bringing in Kane. In that feud with Undertaker, man, saying that was his younger brother and everything, and he was the one that burnt down the funeral home, and Undertaker did it and everything, about killed his brother, and it was amazing. And then what was so awesome too, you had one of the rare on-screen appearances during the Hall of Fame of the Undertaker after they inducted Paul Bearer, so that was awesome too, man.
Heck yeah. But yeah, Paul Bearer definitely deserved to be in, man. Even though unfortunately he had passed away at that time, but hey, it set his legacy in stone. Even though it was already set in stone because of his association with the Undertaker already. But yeah, what else can we say about Paul Bearer, man? That was great. That was hey, I'll never forget him. I'll never forget him straight up. That's just so beautiful, man. They was able to do so many go to commercials. It was perfect. But the way they would go to commercial and they have him holding the urn, man. It just it just
that was perfect.
That was excellent. That was excellent. All right, man. So who we got next? Let's go ahead and get AJ. Go ahead and get these last comments. Hey Harry and Trish Stratus also inducted her opponent leader in the Hall of Fame. Okay, I think we got that. Also, Mark Henry's in the Hall of Fame. Then my man says, hey, Harry, Sonny was inducted in the Hall of Fame. Also, Hulk Hogan is in the Hall of Fame. Wow, man.
We talked about we talked about all them, man.
Yeah, we already talked about that. Yeah, I forgot Sonny was in. Sonny, wow.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day about her, but anyway. Yeah. Harry's face says it all right there, man. His face says it all. All right, so moving right along, guys. Moving right along. We got next after we have Carlos Colon, Harry. I think Harry's froze. Yeah, we got Carlos Colon. And hopefully Harry will come back, man, because I don't know that much about Carlos Colon. Harry, that's Harry's guy there, man. He knows about Carlos Colon more than I do. So Harry, hopefully you can come back, man, and talk about Carlos Colon, man. Tell us about maybe he ain't gonna come back. But hopefully he will come back and tell us about some Carlos Colon, man, because I just know he was in Puerto Rico at the WWC World Wrestling Council promotion. His son, father of Carlito, and the other two. Welcome. Oh, Harry ain't back yet. Okay. Harry.
All right, I'm back, man. I don't know what in the world happened. I think
you froze, man. You froze.
Yeah, we had a power outage or something here, man.
But matter of fact, plug up right now, bud.
I am plugged up, man. It's something happened with the internet. It says you're not connected to the internet, so it went out and it just popped back in. But wow, yeah. So Paul Bearer, last one we was talking about, and
I was talking about Carlos Colon now.
All right, Carlos Colon, man. You got Carlos Colon, man. Carlos Colon, man.
Yeah, that's your boy. Yeah, that's your boy, man.
But Carlos Colon, look, man. Carlos Colon, I never was a huge fan, but I respected him for his dominance of Puerto Rican wrestling, for what was going on in Puerto Rico. And he brought over a lot of outstanding stars to Puerto Rico. He brought Bruiser Brody in. He brought Ric Flair in. And man, you know, I hated what happened to Bruiser Brody. He had been over there a lot of times, you know, years, a lot of years before that. Bruiser Brody would go over there. Flair would go there. Tony Atlas would go there. So many different superstars would go to Puerto Rico and wrestle. And World Wrestling Council, it was huge. It was a huge part of the NWA. And it, you know, they was big enough. Wrestling was big enough over there where they could run their own little show like that. When it boiled down to it, they could have broke away from the NWA and been like a New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's how big World Wrestling Council was in Puerto Rico. You know, after what happened with Bruiser Brody, started going down. But man, Carlos Colon was something special. He was the Roberto Clemente. You know what I'm talking about, Chris, right? The famous baseball player. Well, he's a Hall of Fame baseball player, but he was a Roberto Clemente of Puerto Rico, pretty much. Carlos Colon is just, man, probably one of the most famous people on that island, Chris. And
I heard it, and I know he always had to bleed in his match, boy. Always.
Oh yeah, he was always bleeding, man. Hey, he was Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes before Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes.
He always had to bleed, boy.
Yeah, he was always bleeding.
Even in a promo when he was up there bleeding, boy. I was like, this Joe Hill, boy.
I like I say, I really never cared for him, but he was very good. He was very good at his wrestling style was like nobody else. He looked like a jobber, Chris, but he always came out on top. He was like Jerry Lawler in Memphis. It just, you know, Jerry Lawler, I didn't think should have been winning all the matches either. But him and Carlos Colon, they had their own thing. They had their own little space, and nobody could take that away from them. So, in my opinion, you go to Puerto Rico, you don't wrestle Carlos Colon, you're gonna lose. You go to Memphis, you don't wrestle Jerry Lawler, you're gonna lose, and you deserve to lose. You know, just like that song, just like Superfly, Chris. If you lose, don't ask no questions why. that's all it is to it. You know, if you go into their realm, it's kind of like, hey, you go into somebody's backyard and you get into a fight with them. They know everything that's happening in that backyard, every little weak spot or whatever, anywhere you step or whatever. They know about their backyard. You know, you want to defend your backyard. That's the whole thing about Carlos Colon and Jerry Lawler. You go into their house, you was gonna lose, man. So yeah, big ups to Carlos Colon, and he definitely deserved to go in at that time.
Oh yeah.
And you see Carlito, his son, inducted him.
Yeah, Carlito.
I remember when it went down.
Sons, Carlito, Eddie, and Orlando Colon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
So next we got Razor Ramon, who was inducted by his homeboy Kevin Nash.
All right, man. So yeah, Kevin Nash, man, Diesel, Big Daddy Diesel, inducted. That name's Razor Ramon, man. You gonna tell me you can't? You gonna tell me I can't take what I want, Chris? And then Razor Ramon, what?
Scott Hall, man, that was amazing, man.
Yeah, Scott Hall. But hey, I love those vignettes, man, when he was first going over into the WWE. And look, I was like, they must have something big for him. I was kind of happy for Scott Hall because I'm telling you what, his whole career, man, up until that moment was a joke, man. It really did not pan out. From the size of Scott Hall, what he was, his size and everything, and he looked like him and Magnum TA. They looked alike. They looked a lot alike.
Yeah, he did. He was a Magnum TA. Yeah, they did, bro. Yeah, they did.
And I remember he wrestled in Mid-Atlantic for Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. He left there. He went to AWA. And I'm like, him and Kurt Heenan teamed up. I'm like, why in the world is Kurt Heenan teaming up with this dude, man? And then he come back to the WCW, Mid-Atlantic area, WCW. He ended up being a dime. And then, then they finally put him in the gimmick. Diamond Stud. He was pretty good as a Diamond Stud. He was a mid-carder, but he was pretty good as the Diamond Stud. Then next thing you know, he leave WCW, and he's walking around, man. I see every single week. I turn it on WWE TV. W do a WWF. I turn it on the main event or whatever. After WCW will go off on Saturday mornings. I turn it on main event. And next thing you know, this dude is walking around, man.
In the streets of Miami. And it was so crazy because Scott said they didn't have no permits to film or nothing at the time.
Oh, for real? Wow.
They were doing renegade stuff, boy.
Wow. And this dude was just pushing people around, man, and just, just eating. He, sitting down, eating. He'd sit down and start
slapping the food out their hand or something.
Yeah. And Joe be like, "You gonna tell me I can't take what I want?" I'm just like, "What?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, at first I didn't know who that was.
Yeah.
I'm like, "This dude look familiar." The first week I'm like, "This dude look familiar." Then the next week I'm like, "That Diamond Dallas." Not Diamond Dallas, but I'm like, "Is that the Diamond Stud?" Then I said, "That's Scott Hall, man." I'm like, he ain't know it. This joke ain't no doggone. I said, this joke ain't Italian, man. He walking around acting like he's Italian or whatever. But still, I liked it though. I liked it. I said,
it was good stuff, man. Good stuff, great TV.
And then look, I did not look at it as a gimmick. I didn't look at it as a gimmick. Like I said, we still on the kayfabe, but I knew that he actually didn't talk like that. But still, I knew how the WWE changed people around. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm like, if they continue to do vignettes on this guy like that, they must have something big for him. And they did.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
Because that WrestleMania match, man, WrestleMania 10, that ladder match with him and Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental Championship to see who was going to be the real IC champion, that set him up right there, man.
Yeah, and look, I knew he was going to be special because, look, first week he went in there. The first couple weeks he went in there. Guess who they paired him with, man? He was in that group with Ric Flair, Kurt Heenan, The Undertaker, and they had Razor Ramon. He was you had all those guys out, doing a promo together. They had them all in that group, and he was paired with them. And when you pair,
you talking about Survivor Series? You talking about Survivor Series?
No, it wasn't Survivor. I ain't talking about. Maybe it was going into Survivor Series.
It had to be if they was all together, man.
They was all together. They was all together for like 2 or 3 weeks, man. They had him in a promo, and they brought him in there with them. So he was hanging out with those guys. So it must have been Survivor Series. I didn't see that Survivor Series that year, but I didn't know why in the world he was out there with them in promos. And I'm like, man, they setting this Razor Ramon guy up because they putting him with the stars, man.
Yeah,
the guys who was the biggest stars at the time. Flair had the world title. You had Kurt Heenan, and you had Undertaker, who was really, Mean Mark Callis, who was still my man at that time. Mean Mark Callis still was on the come up too. Undertaker still was on the come up.
Yeah, that was the early years of his.
Early years. So I'm just looking at that, but unless you was living under the rock at that time, under a rock, the Undertaker was going to be something incredible.
Oh yeah, he was going to
when it was all said and done. Just nobody could touch him. Nobody could touch him. No. All right, but
when Razor ended up getting that IC title up from Shawn in that ladder match, man, that was he was set there, man. He was set, man. I mean, and I did not know that him, X-Pac or 1, 2, 3 Kid, whatever you want to call him, Diesel and Triple H. I didn't know all them were, and Shawn, I didn't know all them were hanging together then, man.
Right.
Until the infamous curtain call. And we know what happened there. That's when Harry lost faith in everything wrestling, boy. Wrestling no more, boy. When he found out all these guys were buddy and hugging and handshaking. And that was right when Scott and Kevin was getting ready to leave WCW, man.
Oh, yeah.
And the curtain call, boy, that was. Yeah, but Scott definitely deserves it, man, especially with everything that he went through, man, getting being, sick and everything and all that, and then ended up with DDP too, and then DDP helping him out like he did Jake the Snake, and all that happened at the same time. It was good stuff, man. So it was good to see Razor go in, man. Good to see.
No doubt about that. AJ Skills, so we got all that. Greg, who we got this?
No, yeah, we got this one. AJ Skills, Harry and Chris, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Miss Elizabeth also. Elizabeth, she's not in, I don't think. Is she?
I'm not sure. But we'll find out. Hill is in the house, so Hill may know. But yeah, I don't know about all that. If she's in,
I know. But I know Macho Man's in.
Yeah, Macho Man is definitely in.
Greg,
no, Miss Elizabeth, we already talked about that. Yes, she's in. She's in. I'll tell you.
She is.
I think she's in it. Wait a minute. Maybe did she introduce somebody? She might have introduced. She might have.
No, she was already dead. She was already dead, man. She died in like was it 2000 or 90 something?
I'm saying she. No, I know, but I'm saying
she never inducted nobody.
She didn't. No, somebody inducted her.
She was already dead. I don't think she's in. I don't think she's in.
Okay.
But Greg says, how about Batista?
I
don't know yet, man. I know everybody wants Batista in, but I don't know if a win is gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't either. Greg, I think that's Slezak. Greg, hopefully we're saying your name right, but Greg Slezak. Welcome to the Straight Up Wrestling Show, man. Hey, first time I've seen you. Hey, man. Hopefully you're a new subscriber, but if not, hey, that's cool too. But glad that you came through rolling with us, man. Appreciate it.
AJ Skills. Oh yeah. Hey, Harry. ECW superstar New Jack. New Jack is not in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's not.
No, New Jack is never getting in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to be honest and tell you that right now.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Getting in.
He's never done anything significant. And look, I know
not even that. He was never in the WWE number one.
That's true. That's true. I know he's done a lot of things. Okay, as far as ECW, he was Smoky Mountain Wrestling over there with Jim Cornette. He done a lot of things that's memorable, but I don't think he done anything that really pretty much changed the pace or set the pace as far as in wrestling. Yeah, if you get what I'm saying, that he never guided a huge storyline to not
even a storyline, Harry. He just hadn't really done nothing to some truly cement his legacy. As one of the greats.
That's true.
I mean, he was good at what he did. Don't get me wrong; he was good at what he did. But you can't put him up there as one of the greats. So that's another thing there. So
100%.
Now Rob Van Dam, yes, he's in, and he's in one of the later classes we'll get to sooner or later.
Oh yeah,
that Rob is in. Thirsty Jack, Razor Ramon is for the culture. Yeah. Razor Ramon was he was something else, man.
Oh yeah.
Thirsty Jack, the Click changed the game. Yes, they did. Mm-hmm. Thirsty. Will Relly, Primo is Carlito's brother, and their dad is Carlos Clone. Let you know her. Yeah. I couldn't think of his wrestling name, but I knew who he was. I couldn't think of his wrestling name. But thanks, Will Relly. Will Relly, Miss Elizabeth is not in the Hall of Fame. No, she is not. Will Relly said I meant to say not in the Hall of Fame. Okay, yep. Thirsty Jack, New Jack can be in the Indie Hall of Fame, but not in the. He could be in the Indie Hall of Fame.
That's true.
If there's an Indie Hall of Fame, he could be in that all day long. But I hate to say it, he is not. Not going in WWE Hall of Fame. I hate to say it, but it just is what it is. Well, really, lots of people aren't in the Hall of Fame. It should be Christian, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Miss Elizabeth China, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. China, yes. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
She got in with DX, but not on her own.
Yeah, I don't know. China pretty much, she has some things to say about WWE after, all that stuff that was going down in her life. So I don't know. I really don't know. Bam Bam Bigelow, yes, he deserves to be in. And Christian, I know Christian's going to get in one day. And Bam Bam probably will too. Now, Miss Elizabeth, now I have something to say about Miss Elizabeth right now. It says, ultimately, Miss Elizabeth's death was ruled an accident and caused by acute toxicity due to her intake of painkillers and vodka. This tragic ending may be why WWE has shied away from celebrating the life and career of Miss Elizabeth in the WWE Hall of Fame and Lex Luger as well. So,
I can see that.
Yeah, I
and
can't.
What year was that? What year was that, man?
What, when they wrote that?
No, what year did she die? What year did she die?
Oh, okay. I'll find out in just a second.
Did it say?
But man, yeah,
it's an article.
Yeah, they don't say that in that article. Wait a minute. No, they don't say it in the article, but I'll get it in just a second. Let's see. But man, that I remember when she passed. I just couldn't believe it, and it just blew my mind, man.
Fooling around with Lex, boy.
May 1st, 2003.
Okay,
I know. She was 42 years old, man. So if she was still living now, she would be 62. She'd be 63 years old, man. If she was living now. Man, I hate it for her. I was so upset, and I was upset with Lex, boy. I was mad. I was real upset with Lex.
That was all his fault, boy. That was all his fault.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Lex drove her down that road, man. He took on that path.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're gonna finish up, man. So the next inductee, Mr. T.
Mr. T, goddamn, Mr. T, boy.
Yeah, inducted by Mean Gene Oakland, boy. And all I remember about Mr. T is how he kept on about how he loved his mama, how he loved his mama, how he loved his mama. That's all he kept talking about, boy.
You didn't watch his TV show? You didn't used to watch the 18?
Yeah. But I'm just talking about. I'm just saying all I remember about his induction.
Yeah. That
and he got so long, boy. He got so long. Kane had to come out and wrap him up. And Kane was like, "All right, T, it's over. Stop it. It's enough."
Yeah. Well, T at that time, you have to credit T for a lot as far as the getting the popularity over, getting WWF, getting that, getting them to that mainstream popularity, because when it boils down to it, Mr. T and Cyndi Lauper.
Yep, WrestleMania 1, man.
Yeah, they was running neck to neck. I mean, Cyndi Lauper, her fame from, because of MTV, girls just want to have fun. Songs, True Colors and things. I mean, she was huge. But Mr. T, I have to say Mr. T was just as big, more popular. The A-Team was the #1 show in the country at that time. Everybody knew who Mr. T was. Everybody remember Mr. T from the movie Rocky III, which was seen by 200 million people. So everybody,
that was some good stuff.
Yeah, everybody knew who Mr. T was. So, yeah, does he deserve to be in? 100%. He got into that ring, man. And Mr. T, he took some beatings, man. He took a beating from Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper.
Yeah,
those guys were bigger than him, man. They made Mr. T look small, and Mr. T looks huge.
Yeah,
they made him look small, man. They, like I say, they were beating him down, man. He couldn't handle it. A lot of it he didn't handle well. But I mean, Mr. T came out pretty good. Team Hogan pretty much came in and did most of the work, but Mr. T did pretty good. And then Mr. T, he had a box. Who did he box, man? He had a
Roddy Piper.
Yeah, Roddy Piper. Yeah. So, not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. Mr. T. Yeah. And then he went to WCW. He did some things up there when Hogan was in WCW. But yeah, Mr. T, he deserves to be in, man. Great contribution to wrestling. You can't take that away from him, man.
No. I mean, like I said, ushered in the first WrestleMania, man.
Yes.
So, that was some good stuff, man. So,
Oh yeah.
Mr. T, man. All right, guys. So where are we at here on the comments? Because there's some more comments coming in, guys.
Yeah, let's knock out all these comments, man.
Percy Jack, Bam Bam Bigelow, of course, he's definitely a Hall of Famer for sure. Yeah.
Yes, he
AJ
is.
Skills, Harry and Chris, Molly Holly.
Okay. I'm like that too. I'm like that too about Molly. Right. I like her, but
Will Raleigh, Lex Luger's not in the Hall of Fame. Why he should be definitely no. And he's not going in, and I tell you, because of Miss Elizabeth.
Exactly.
Miss Elizabeth was adored by millions, and her association with Lex and her death, nope.
America's sweetheart, man. America's sweetheart. And
that ain't.
I mean, when it boils down to it, I'm not saying she's on Aaliyah status or somebody like that. I'm talking about Aaliyah. I'm talking about the artist, guys. I'm not saying she's on the status of those type of people as an icon, but as far as in wrestling, she was an icon. She was she was America's sweetheart of the wrestling world. And when that happened when that right there happened, you just like, oh my gosh. And she wasn't even my favorite. I like Missy Hyde. I like people like that. Miss Elizabeth, she looked like one of these sweet, tender women, man. It just, if you think of a wife, man, a perfect wife, she brought that to the forefront. That's the way people saw her. And this thing that happened with Lex Luger, that put a bad mark on Lex, man. Lex didn't look good after that, man. He did not look good.
No.
So all I could think about was this guy might be on. He's probably on steroids.
Probably
he was on roids because he got caught with roids. He was going through an airport or whatever and had Miss Elizabeth with him. He got caught with all kind of roids or whatever. I'm like, this guy's on roids. He probably treating her like dirt. And there was already reports about problems going on between those two at the time. Police had to be called out a few times. All kind of stuff was going on at that time. So when she did pass away, first thing I looked at was him. I was like, arrest this dude. This all kind of stuff, man. All kind of stuff. So Lex. Look, I like Lex Luger, Rally Sport, and because of that, he probably never go into WWE Hall of Fame. I do like Lex. I like Lex a lot, but I don't think he ever will be in the WWE Hall of Fame because of that reason.
All right, Thursday Jack, Ultimo Dragon should be in the Hall of Fame as well as Dean Malenko. I agree, Thursday. I definitely agree.
Oh yeah.
Will Raleigh says 2003. Okay. Will Raleigh, this induction is crazy. He kept saying he loves his mom and ushered off the stage, but I can't. Yep, he sure did. Mr. T.
Yeah.
All right, Will Raleigh, Mania 1 was it was Mr. T was in the Mr. 1 Fogo. Yep. I wasn't allowed to think about it. It was a tag match. Yeah, it was a tag match, Will.
It was a tag, yep. She was.
AJ Scales, Harry and Chris, do you think Stephanie McMahon will be inducted to the Hall of Fame? I doubt it. I
don't think so next year, but she will get into the Hall of Fame. I don't know when, but most likely,
At some point she will, but I doubt it for it to be next year.
Yeah.
Yep. And Will Raleigh said he boxed Piper. All right.
Oh yeah.
Whew. Oh man. All right, Harry. So man, that was the class of 2014. Good Lord, man. We've been on here almost 3 hours almost, man. Good Lord.
Yeah, we can do one more, or we can roll through this other one real quick if you want to do that, and that's it.
Well, the next one is a bigger class, 2015, man. That's a bigger class, man.
Well, we still can roll through it fast. Let me see what we got here. Let me check it out. Who's all in this class? Let's roll through this fast, man.
All right, man. You got 2015, class 2015, March 28, 2015. It was in San Jose, California at the SAP Center, SAP Center.
Okay.
You had Macho Man Randy Savage, who was inducted by Hulk Hogan. Ishii, inducted by the Usos, his sons. Alundra Blaze, inducted by Natalya Neidhart. I remember this one. Yeah, Larry Zbyszko, inducted by Bruno Sammartino.
Okay.
Tatsumi Funami, inducted by Ric Flair. Kevin Nash, inducted by Shawn Michaels. You had the Bushwhackers, Luke Williams and Butch Miller, inducted by John Laurinaitis. And then the celebrities, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, inducted by Triple H. Then you had the Warrior Award, went to Connor the Crusher. I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah, Michaelette. Michelet.
Yeah, was inducted by Dana Warrior and Daniel Bryan. So this is a pretty good class, man.
Yeah, it is. All right, man. Let's start off with Randy Macho Man Savage. Not gonna really go into his career, man, because hey, if you're a wrestling fan, you should know
You
about
you should know about that, man.
it. You know,
If you don't know about Macho Man, you call yourself a wrestling fan, man.
exactly.
Playing
So,
I'm just gonna say
hey,
go play
if
traffic.
you have to go back and check out the Macho Man Randy Savage, and
Yeah.
you know, we just spoke of Miss Elizabeth, and we know that hey, Macho Man Randy Savage, he was involved with Miss Elizabeth. She was his first manager, or you know, hey, valet or whatever, and he was married to her at one point. So Macho Man Randy Savage, inducted by Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, did it all in wrestling. You know, had great feuds against Hulk Hogan, had a great feud against Ric Flair, great feud against Ricky Steamboat, one of the greatest matches of all time. You know, you can't take that away from him. Randy Macho Man went a little crazy a little bit later on. He was on the steroids, on different drugs.
He was.
But you can't take away what the man did in the ring. You can't take away from everything that he brought to the table in wrestling. One of the greatest of all time when it boils down to it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he's on the status of a Ric Flair as far as wrestling ability, but he's one of the top 10. You got to put him in top 10, Chris.
Oh, of course, he's definitely in top 10.
He's definitely one of the top 10 of all times. Straight up. Let's see, Rikishi, you know, inducted by,
yeah, it was inducted by his sons, the Usos.
Inducted by his sons, the Usos, man. Hey, Chris, you want to go ahead and talk about Rikishi a little bit, man?
Man, Rikishi, the cousin or brother of Yokozuna. I forget which one it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rikishi.
Yeah,
one he blooded to him some kind of way.
Yeah.
But Rikishi, he basically, man, he's had a up and down career, man. He had high moments, he had low moments. He was in the tag team, as we all know, of Too Cool. He had some singles runs, and one of the most famous things I remember about him, man, him getting thrown off the Hell in the Cell in the back of that daggone truck, but that pickup truck, boy. That's what I remember. Boy. That was crazy, boy. And then at the ceremony, man, it was cool. Him and his sons broke out dancing and stuff, and did his dad's dance, and you know, and obviously getting done. When you wrestle with Rikishi, you know, the stink face, you know what's gonna happen and stuff like that, man. So yeah, Rikishi, man, yeah, he never really held any singles gold. I think he was a tag team champion at one point, I think. And that was about the height of it, man. But never
it was.
Yeah, never.
Even though I didn't think too much of Rikishi, but I looked at his career close to what the way I looked at Haku's career when it boils down to it. But Haku's was longer. Ming Haku, it was longer. But Rikishi, I had no problem with Rikishi going in, man. Not at all. Alundra Blaze, I definitely had no problem with her. She paved the way for so many different wrestlers. She is the one who pretty much brought in the modern day wrestler. You know, before that we had Fabulous Moolah, we had Susan Green, we had you know, so many other ones you know, before her that was just in that mode of, you know, just in that mode of they was female wrestlers, but they only had a few different moves. Alundra Blaze came in and, like I say, she modernized women wrestling. She actually did. So yeah, she definitely deserved to be in. And she was inducted by Natalya Neidhart. But yeah, Alundra Blaze, man, incredible. And I'm glad that she got in, even though she trashed the WWF Women's Championship on TV on WCW.
And she brought it back out too out the trash can in her Hall of Fame speech. She was like, "What do we have here?"
I saw that.
And everything, everybody cheered and stuff. So yeah, that was cool.
All right, man. Next we have Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko, the first legend killer. He turned on Bruno Sammartino back in the day, back in 1981. I will never forget that feud. You know, and Larry Zbyszko pretty much, I thought he really killed Bruno. You know, Bruno was never going to come back. But Bruno came back and got his revenge on Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko, I saw him over in the WWE. He was, you know, as far as in WWE, WWF at that time, him and Dominic DeNucci was a great tag team. Won a lot of matches, championships. They was a great tag team back in the States. Larry Zbyszko, you know, with Bruno Sammartino, that right there pretty much set his mark off. You know, Bruno Sammartino trained him and pretty much was his mentor.
Yep.
and he turned on him. And like I say, that led to him being called the Legend Killer. He was the first one, and Randy Orton did take off on that. But yeah, Larry Zbyszko, and then Larry Zbyszko went and he worked in the AWA. He did become an AWA World Champion, I believe. And he worked for WCW. He worked for the Mid-Atlantic region and stuff. He did his thing. Larry Zbyszko, definitely a legendary wrestler. Not one of the greatest of all time, but pretty darn good. Darn good. And he was great at using every single bit of knowledge and skill that he had. He was able to prolong it and made himself a long career. And he was a pretty good announcer too. A pretty good commentator. Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah.
So
and Larry always, man, he was the loudest wrestler I ever heard in my life. When I mean loud, boy, that joke could get hit, boy. He's
like you talk about selling, but that joker was sell. But yeah, him and Arn Anderson had a pretty good tag team too in WCW. The Enforcers, and the Dangerous Alliance. Those guys was pretty darn good. All right, man. So yeah, next we had Tatsumi Fujinami. I know a lot of you guys haven't really seen him. I don't know how much Chris really even know about him.
I've seen him, but I never saw him wrestle.
Inducted by Ric Flair. Him and Ric Flair had some legendary matches. If you get a chance to check those out, if you can find those, you get a chance to check even one of them out, man, you will be thoroughly pleased.
Fujiwara armbar.
Yeah, man, Fujinami was incredible. I mean, a great wrestler. All right, next, man, we have Kevin Nash, inducted by Shawn Michaels. Kevin Nash, I have a problem with Kevin Nash going in 2015.
Why, man? Why?
He was great, man. He was great, especially when he came to WCW. Kevin Nash. He was great. He was good as Diesel. But man,
but you just
that's what I'm about to say. I can't get over that, man. This joker was Oz. This joker was doggone Vinny Vegas. Vinny Vegas, and there's something else. He was something else over there in WCW too, Chris.
That's all I remember was Oz and Vinny Vegas.
Oz, he was something before Oz. I can't remember what it was, man. But it was a joke, man. It was a joke.
That's all I remember, man. Oz and Vinny Vegas, man. That was good.
I gotta bring it up, man. He was something before Oz, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, Vinny Vegas. Then okay, he had the thing. He went in as Diesel. Okay, he was pretty good as Diesel, but he really didn't draw any money as Diesel. He really did. Then he came over to WCW, and WCW could have been.
He was at WCW first, man. He was at WCW first, man.
Oh, I know he was in WCW. I said he went over to WWE and then he came. WWE and then he came back to WCW. That's what I thought.
No, he did. Oh well, yeah, he did when the NWO. Yeah, I forgot about the NWO. I forgot all about that thing. I forgot about it. Yeah,
the Outsiders.
Yeah,
that was outstanding, man.
Because you really thought that Vince sent them boys over there.
Exactly, that was outstanding. But I'm talking about him and Scott Hall, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. That could have been an iconic tag team, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
They was kicking butt. I'm talking about they was kicking butt in the premier company that was basically surrounded by great tag teams.
Yeah.
But Bischoff decided, hey, I want to get involved in this. He did. Hulk Hogan did at first. And, because they only had like 2 or 3 week run where they, probably a few weeks, basically a month of, they're a little bit over a month, 5-6 weeks where they was able to show themselves as a tag team. And then they was with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan bowed out a couple of matches that they had, even though within a few weeks Hulk Hogan was with them. They still wrestled as Kevin Nash, and they wrestled as the Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They wrestled some more tag team matches. But, man, them jokers gave Sting and Lex Luger a great tag team match. You know how good Sting and Lex Luger was as a tag team.
Yeah.
They gave them a great match. I'm like, man, these guys actually look pretty good. But you guys still look like Vinny Vegas and doggone the Diamond Stud.
You just need to get over that stuff.
But I'm saying, as Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, man, they showed me something totally different. I'm like, man, these two guys, just leave it like it is. Have the Outsiders. Have Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hulk Hogan, maybe add a couple more people. They was adding more and more people. I was like, that's what I like, man. That right there looked so good. It was great. But Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, Kevin Nash become this superstar by himself. And we know Razor Ramon, Diamond Stud, Scott Hall was a superstar within himself too. But Kevin Nash became the giant, man. He was the giant. And Kevin Nash was just
Kevin Nash.
In a way, he was bigger than Hulk Hogan. Nobody could stop Kevin Nash. Nobody could beat him. Nobody could touch him.
And then when he beat who did he beat for the WWF?
Goldberg.
No, not the WWF title, man. WWF title.
Oh, okay, in the WWF title. Okay.
It was a squash match, man. Whoever he beat.
Was it Hart?
No, it wasn't Shawn. It was somebody else, man. It was
for the WWF title?
It was at a house show. He beat him in 2 seconds or something ridiculous, man.
I don't know who had the WWF title at that time, though. So
it might have been, was it Bob Backlund?
Could have been.
It might have been Bob Backlund.
If Bob Backlund won that title, I couldn't believe it, man. Yeah, he was acting all crazy. Probably was Bob Backlund.
Yeah, he beat him in record time too, man. He beat him in record time. Yeah.
But look, man. I look at Kevin Nash. I look at his career not being fulfilled, Chris. And then he started having all kind of injury problems with his legs and everything like that.
His knees,
with TNA and everything. In TNA, I thought TNA they didn't use him correctly at all in TNA. And look, I know he had a lot of control in TNA.
The main event mafia.
Yeah, it was just flat out stupid. I'm looking at a guy in that Polka Death or whatever, all that stuff. This guy didn't need that goofy stuff to beat Goldberg.
No,
he was good enough to beat Goldberg.
Taser.
Yeah, with the taser and all that foolish stuff. I just think that his legacy was tarnished, in my opinion. I just look at Kevin Nash now, and I look at all the shenanigans that went around that went along with his career. As iconic as he became, I look at all of the goofy stuff that went along with his career. And when they inducted him to the Hall of Fame, I was like, doesn't deserve it. So now, do I think he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes, I do. But at that time they put him in, was it 2016? What is it? What year?
2015, man. 2015.
Oh, 2015? All right, this is the last class we doing, guys. But yeah, in 2015, I don't think he deserved to be in, man. I didn't think he deserved to be in. I was upset about this selection, man, to tell you the truth.
You just don't like Kevin Nash, man. That's all that is. Just say it. Just say it, man. Just say it. You do not like Kevin Nash. Just say it.
At the time, personally,
you still don't like him, man.
No. I liked him, man. I liked him a lot. I like him. But man, look, I wanted much more from Kevin Nash, man. Kevin Nash was the new John Studd, man. Kevin Nash was the shiznit, man. Man, he threw his career away. Look, Chris, a lot of that stuff is on him. It's not just on the promotion. It's on him. Because think about it. Kevin Nash, didn't he have some he had a lot of creative control when he came to WCW, right?
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, man. He was a booker at one time.
Yeah, he was a booker. So, it's on him. He did that to his career. So, I don't like it. So, every time I look at him and I listen to him, I'm like, you arrogant prick, man, and all the stuff that you did to your career. But no, I like him. I do like him, Chris. But I'm just saying I could have saw something iconic, something great, something fantastic. He could go down as one of the greatest big man of all time. But do you think of Kevin Nash like that?
Nah, man.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But he should have, Chris. Man, he was more athletic than Big John Studd. He was more athletic than Black Jack Mulligan. This guy should. When we talk about big man,
he was bigger than them too.
Yeah, and when we talk about big man in wrestling, when we talk about big man in wrestling, this guy his name should come up there with the Andre the Giants, Ernie Lass, and Paul Levesque. His name should come up in that, but his name doesn't.
Oh, Levesque, Triple H,
not Triple H, man. God almighty, did I call Paul the Giant, man? What is his name? The Giant over there in AEW now.
Paul Wright, man. Paul Wright.
Yeah, Paul White, not Paul Levesque, man. Why in the world say that? But yeah, Paul White. The Giant. His name should be with those guys, man. And John Studd. John Studd's name up there. His name should be right in the middle of those guys or on top of them.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, Kevin Nash, you did it to yourself, man.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move right along because Harry just don't like
as far as everybody that's coming in here new or everybody seeing me now, hey, I'm gonna tell you that's how I am. I'm sorry, guys.
He don't like him, but Harry just don't like him.
I critique everything. No, I don't like what he did to his career, Chris. I like Kevin Nash. Man, I used to enjoy seeing him, but man, I expected so much more. And when he was in TNA, that was just sad, man. I used to look at that. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. This company, TNA could be great if you give us your greatest. Give us your best. It's kind of like me and you go signing on the indie scene. We go sign Chase Emery. He doesn't, and Zuka King. They don't give us our best, Chris. They don't give us their best. We give them some creative control. They don't give us their best.
Man.
So I'm just disappointed in him, man. Just put it that way. Disappointed in him.
All right, man. So let's move on, man. Let's move on because he'll stay on this all night, boy, about Kevin Nash, boy.
All right, move on, man, to the Bushwhackers, man.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Here we go. Oh, Lord have mercy. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, boy. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, boy. Oh, Lord, why we had to go here.
The Bushwhackers, who was they inducted by, Chris?
Who was they inducted? They was inducted by John Laurinaitis.
Yeah, John Laurinaitis.
Mr. Scandal himself.
I was happy for the Bushwhackers, man. Put it that way. I know you think I'm gonna go off on it.
Were you really, man?
I was happy about the Bush. I was happy for the Bushwhackers. And look, not because they got inducted for their WWE career. I take it all the way back to the NWA, WCW, when he was called the Sheep Herders. So I'm like, those guys, legendary. They're legendary. I just call them the Sheep Herders, Chris. The Sheep Herders in my book. They will always be the Sheep Herders. But yeah, the Bushwhackers got in. They deserve to be in, man. I'm glad they got in. Now in 2015, I was shocked that they got in. I was shocked. I will say that. But yeah, Bushwick Bill, man. Luke and Bushville, man.
Well, you tripping, boy.
It was Luke and Bush, man. Yeah, and they was always called Luke and Butch, man. The Sheep Herders, the Bushwhackers, they deserve to get in, Chris. I know you thought I was going to dog it out. Now I'll go to a long story about it. I was now for a minute there because I did have a thought when it happened. I'm sitting there looking like, my head turned when I heard that they was going into the Hall of Fame. It did happen, but yeah, I was happy for them. I was happy that they went into the Hall of Fame. So I'm not gonna sit here and talk about, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about I'm not gonna give it destructive criticism. All right.
I said destructive. Good Lord.
Because I did have a little criticism about it, but no, when it boiled down to it, man, it didn't take long before I said, hey, they deserve to be in. And, it happened within probably 10, 15 minutes after that. Because I started thinking destructive. I started thinking of some thoughts about
destruction.
It was destructive, man. I thought it was destructive to their career going up to the WWE. That's why I say it was destructive criticism. Man. If I come out and criticize it, man, it'd be destructive to their legacy. So I'm not gonna say those things that I quickly thought of. All right, man. Next, man. Let's move on from that, Chris. We had celebrity Arnold Schwarzenegger inducted by Triple H. But before we get to that, man, let's get to the comments, Chris. Let's get to the comments.
All right, man. Where did I stop off at, boy? Good Lord, man. It's a lot
I don't know, boy. I don't know. Not at all.
Okay. Okay, yeah, here we go right here. AJ Styles, Harry and Chris Paul Heyman inducted Bill Goldberg into Hall of Fame. Yep.
Okay.
Will Relly, Molly Holly works as backstage producer for WWE. Apparently, she's one of the nicest people in wrestling. What about Hurricane Helms for No, man, no.
No way, man.
No, Will Riley.
No, not in my book. Yeah.
He was good at Shane Helms and cruiserweights. Oh, Pac is 1-2-3 kid. Pac is 1-2-3 kid. No, because he only had one major win that was over Scott Hall. So him as that gimmick, no. But him and DX, yes, that's how he got in as DX. Yes. But Hurricane Helms and Molly Holly, nah, they haven't done enough. We're really a bit surprised X-Pac not in the Hall of Fame, also solo. Yeah. He really hasn't done anything. He's always
he hasn't, man.
He's always been in a group or a faction, so he's never really done anything truly solo.
Yeah.
Will Riley, are you doing? No, we're not. We're not doing Dynasty.
No, we don't plan on that, man. We was gonna do it, but
no.
All right, Magnum says, awesome. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Very informative. Thank you, Mag. Thank you for coming on to the show, my brother. I know you were going to check out what you missed, but appreciate you coming in. You probably been here a while. I don't know. All right, Will Rally Sports says, I watched all of these Hall of Fames. I like them. This was a good year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Rally. Yeah, all right, Green Randall, are you guys going to stream Dynasty? No, sir. No, sir. No. My man Magnum, he set it off last night. Mag said he's not doing it. He said, Harry, I'm not doing no Dynasty. All right, Mitty says, good evening, gentlemen. What's going on, Mitty? Glad that you in, my man. Glad that you in. But yeah, we about done with this thing, man. All right, Chris, Arnold Schwarzenegger is in, man. Hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger definitely deserved to be in. Man,
everything that man done in Hollywood and all the movies he's made, man. Come on, man. Dude, he's done a lot, man.
Heck yeah. And look. Not just everything, man. He set the bar for wrestlers, man. He set the bar for muscle wrestlers, guys that want to get their body in shape. You think they're not, that they wasn't inspired by Arnold Schwarzenegger in some kind of way? I'm sure they were, man. Every single one that you see, So definitely Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we know he, showed up for some couple WrestleManias, and
a couple of SmackDowns back in the day.
Yeah. So definitely Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now this Warrior Award, man, Connor the Crusher Michalek. Michalek. I don't know who that is.
He was a little kid, man. He was a kid with the incurable version of cancer and stuff.
That's what I thought.
Ended up dying the day after my birthday.
Oh,
which is crazy because he ended because the April 26th is a cursed day. And I'll tell you why. Because I want to say in one of my 20-something's birthday, Left Eye died the day after my birthday. Because I remember when I got the news, I got the news. I was in Charlotte celebrating with my friends at the time. Mm-hmm. And now years later, this happened the day after my birthday, and some other stuff that I can't quite remember. That's happened tragically in the world on the day after my birthday. So April 26th is a cursed day. But yeah, this kid right here, man, you've heard of that fundraiser they do every year, Connor's Cure?
Yeah. I know the kid.
That's because of him. That's because of him.
Yeah, I know the kid. Yeah, I remember the kid. But I couldn't at first. I was thinking I was a wrestler. Then right before you said the kid, it jumped in my head that wait a minute, that's that Warrior Award that they give. Yeah. So man, that's cool. Yeah, I'm glad that he got inducted by Dana Warrior and Daniel Bryan, and we all know who they are. So, but yeah, man.
You don't know who they are.
I didn't say I didn't know who they are. I said we all know who they are. Okay. Maybe I was talking a little too fast. Oh, we don't know who they are. I don't know who they are.
Wow, man.
I have no clue, Chris. I have no clue, boy. Who the heck are these people, man, that inducted them? Boy. Daniel Bryan, boy, wrestling tonight. He wrestling Okada, man. But hey, I'm pretty sure they already got this thing rolling, man. They got the free preview and all that.
The 0 hour, that's already going on.
That's all going on. But guys, look, man, I don't know. We'll look at the results and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But
as far as us doing the show, no.
It's look at the card, man. The card, like I said, everything that happened from Dynamite on to Collision to Rampage. Every single one of these guys engaged each other. Every match, they've already engaged each other this week. Mm-hmm. Don't make no sense for a pay-per-view.
Yes, that's crazy.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that? They had matches last night on Rampage and Collision, and even though these matches of these people matching up against each other, the only people that didn't engage this week, well, they did engage because it was an attack. There was Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland, but all the rest of them, you had Pac who's taking on Okada. They wrestled last night against each other in the 6-man tag team match. The Young Bucks are taking on, who's the Young Bucks taking on in this? Young Bucks taking on FTR in the ladder match. But last night, Young Bucks and FTR was in that 6-man tag team match. FTR had Pac on their team, and the Young Bucks had Okada on their team. Young Bucks taking on FTR tonight in a ladder match. Okada is taking on Pac tonight. We saw that last night. Even though it was in the 6-man tag team match, we're going to see this tonight. It makes no sense. I don't want to see that. And Wednesday, they had some of the same scenarios happening that we saw on Rampage and Collision. So I'm like, Tony Khan, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You know, Pac and Okada, they shouldn't even, you know, since this thing started up, they shouldn't even fought each other or what. Yeah, of course, those guys should be, you know, rehearsing and everything. We know that, Chris, being in the business, they should rehearse their match and everything. But these guys shouldn't be showing they shouldn't have a fight on TV, maybe an argument or whatever, a face-to-face, but they shouldn't engage in a match on TV before that's supposed to be one of the biggest matches at the show on the pay-per-view. So that I lost interest, man, complete interest from it last night. But like I told everybody, I said I'll do it if Chris wants to do it. I'll do it if Chris wants to do it. And you know, I asked a couple people. Mag said he wasn't doing it, and I'm pretty sure Braden wasn't doing it. So I'm just like, man, you know, you scratch it. Yeah, you guys have made me lose interest in it, man. And you know, not our friends here on a Straight Up Wrestling show, but Tony Khan did that. I'm like, you made me lose interest in your show. But let's get the last comments, guys. What we got?
Before we get up out of here, man. All right, so Mag says, I've been here the whole time, Harry.
Appreciate that, Mag. Glad that you've been rocking with me, man.
Yeah, AJ Skills say, hey, Harry and Chris, Triple H inducted HBK into the Hall of Fame, also Ric Flair into the Hall of Fame. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Will Raleigh said, you're not streaming. Nope. We're not doing it.
We're not getting it. We're not doing it, Raleigh.
Well, okay, I think it's gonna be a great pay-per-view myself. All right.
Hey, let us know, man. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you watch it or anything. Let us know, man. But
we'll hear from a lot of different podcasters. We'll see if that thing's good, but it may be good. But
we're just not gonna watch it ourselves.
Yeah, we're just not gonna see it tonight, man. We're not gonna see it. We will go and talk about the results and everything. We will read up on the results of it. But you know, Tony Khan, I mean, he should do something, man. He should do something to where there's replays or whatever, where his fans can actually see his pay-per-views, because there's no replays out here of none of his pay-per-views. And he's had some great pay-per-views. There's been some great pay-per-views, but there's nowhere. I mean, I can go back and watch the pay-per-views that we bought. Me and Chris, we both can go back and watch them. I've never went back and watched one of their pay-per-views, even though we have it on the Bleacher Report and the other one that they used to do before Bleacher Report. I have it all there. It's there, but I never went back and watched any of their pay-per-views. I'm not interested. I don't know why. But
it's just one of those things. It just, just not.
Yeah, I might go back and record those things. I might take my DVD burner and I might go and burn those DVDs. And so just in case something never happened, Bleacher Report is not around no more, and the other one are not around no more. I got to make sure I have a hard copy of it. But as far as their pay-per-views, man, I never have went back to watch any of them, because when it boils down to it, it's no storylines that built up to all these great matches that they had.
No.
I mean, they had a couple storylines with MJF and Chris Jericho, that the little foolish thing that they had. But when it boils down to it, man, I like pay-per-views.
I'm just gonna say it. In my opinion, my personal opinion, AEW is a waste of time. I'm just gonna say it. That's my personal opinion.
It's getting to that point, man.
I hate if anybody in there in here that's an AEW fan, I'm sorry. I hate to say it. You can call me a hater or whatever you want. I don't care. Jimmy Crackcorn, I don't care. But AEW, until they figure out what they need to do to fix their issues, it's a waste of time.
And you know what?
I mean, and you got all that talent and can't do nothing.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
trash.
A lot
That's
of talent.
just trash.
A lot
but
of talent. And look. You know, Chris saying that and everything. And hey,
I'm just gonna be straight up because
he was one of the biggest AEW fans around.
You know what? I'm gonna say this: they're a flash in the pan. They're a flash in the pan.
Hey guys, I said that at the beginning when we first started.
They have their moments, but now it's I don't even. Sometimes I don't even want to talk about AEW.
Yeah,
Harry can tell you. Sometimes I don't even want to talk about it. But anyway, we getting off subject here, guys.
Yeah, we definitely don't need to be talking about that anymore. Somebody did log off. They like this hater or whatever. They pissed off at you. But no, straight up though. Hey, it is what it is, man. It's not saying that's going to be the last pay-per-view that we saw of AEW is going to be the last one, and we're not saying that we're not going to cover them or whatever. But a lot of the stuff that you're going to see reviews, man. When it comes down to it, you're going to see reviews. You might not see as many lives, but we will do a live every now and then. But you're going to see reviews of their shows. We're going to review their shows. Because we definitely going to have to keep in touch with it. We're going to have to see what's going on. But guys, we're not going to talk about it no more because we are talking about the WWE Hall of Fame. But Johnny Beans, what's up? Laugh out loud. Harry said, "F AEW pay-per-view." Goodness.
Pretty much.
Yeah, man. Johnny is just Johnny Beans, man. I just wow.
But that wraps up the 2015 class, though. Guys.
Yeah, it did. It wraps it up, man. And I tell you what, we've been on for 3 hours, guys. And if you didn't get to see it, man, go back and check it out. Me and Chris, we brought in a lot of information. Sup, Chris? How's everything been? Johnny Bean says.
What's up, man? Shoot. What's up, Johnny Bean?
Oh yeah, Johnny Bean says, "Oh shoot, it's Sunday. Forgive me, Lord." Exactly.
It's all right, man.
Yeah,
everything been good, man. Everything been good, man.
We always gotta ask for forgiveness, man. We all slip up. So, no doubt, it definitely happens, man. But yeah, Johnny Beans, we glad that you came in. We glad that my man Will Rally Sport were rocking with us tonight, man. We glad that AJ Skills rocked with us today. We glad that Magnum rocked with us. Armor Clark rocked with us. Melanie McKeith chimed in. Who else that we got, Chris? We got a lot more people, man, that pretty much came in. We got a new subscriber
Braden came in.
New subscriber, Mike D.
Man.
Yeah, Mike D came in.
Yeah, Mike D came in, man.
New subscriber. Appreciate you coming in, rocking with the family.
We had Armor Clark. We had Melvin Key Matthew Lincoln on Facebook.
You got Green Randall.
Yeah, Green Randall came in, man. Like I said, Braden came in. Main Mills came in, man. So yeah, all you guys, thank y'all for coming in, rocking.
Hey, no doubt about it, man. No doubt about it.
We did part 3 of the WWE Hall of Fame, man.
This was part 4 here. So
part 4.
Yeah, okay, part 4. Yeah, Jeez. Jacob Sammy, what's up, Jacob Sammy? I see you, man. Jacob Sammy is in the house. Appreciate you coming in, brother, rocking with us. What's up, Harry and Chris? Let's see
what's up, Harry and Chris? I hear Tessa Blanchard. Yeah, it's coming back to TNA, man. Well, Matt Hardy's back in TNA too, so yeah.
Yeah, well, Tessa, Tessa, as long as she behave, man, she's good. Yeah, she behaves. But like I say, I don't know if she's ever gonna make it over to WWE. But if she comes in, behave, man, and wrestles good, she might. She just may. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, Matt Hardy's back in the TNA, and he confronted Moose yesterday. Am I interested in that? Not really. I will watch it. I'm gonna watch and see how Matt does in TNA, because Matt looked like a fool over there in AEW. I hate to say it. He looked like a fool.
Matt looked like a fool anywhere, boy. Matt looked like a fool anywhere.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Leave him alone, Chris, man. He ain't done nothing to you. Have he done it? You act like this man done something personal to you. Have he done anything personal to you, Chris?
Yeah, he did. He became a wrestler, boy. He became a wrestler.
Oh man, you used to love the Hardy Boys, man. Come on, man. I do.
Man, I was not like that. No Hardy Boys. They were good.
I know, man. I'm just messing with you, Chris, man. I'm messing with you, boy. You getting cranky, boy.
Boy.
Yeah. But yeah, Matt Hardy, man. I'm just like, But you know what? He's got a legacy, Chris. He's got a legacy, man. So
yeah, he does.
We'll see how that turns out. We definitely will. Glenn White, what's up? What's wrong with TNA though? Hey, Glenn, man, nobody saying nothing wrong with TNA, man. Me and Chris, when Chris lived in Greenville, I mean, he doesn't live in Greenville no more, so he doesn't have charter, so he doesn't get to see it. I do cover it every now and then. Nothing's wrong with TNA, man. We just saying we'll see how it does in TNA. Straight up. As far as TNA, TNA it's better than AEW right now. That's all I can really say about it. It's better than them. TNA lacks star power. They really do. They do got some stars. They do got some people that can wrestle. That's pretty good, but they do lack star power. I will say that, Glenn. But Glenn White, man, glad that you came in rocking with us. Glenn White, we know wrestling, man, has a he has a show over in, he has a page over on Facebook. We know wrestling. So, hey, everybody who's over on Facebook, over on our Facebook page, go check Glenn White out. Glenn, appreciate you coming in, man, rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling family, rocking with your family tonight.
Yeah.
Me and Christopher Burton. But, hey, guys, we are out of here. We definitely out of here, and we will see you guys. We will see you guys soon, man. We got Monday Night Raw coming up. And like I say, I don't know if I don't know as far as the show, as far as Wednesday night. I know Tuesday night, man, we always do NXT, guys. But on AEW, we're gonna start doing a lot of reviews of their shows when it boils down to it. We'll see how they do. We will be still doing some lives, but hey, I'm not gonna make no promises and say, hey, we're gonna be live for Rampage and Dynamite all the time. Chris and I, we're gonna see how they do, man. We're gonna see how they do, straight up. All right, what my man here, Jack Roby, what is he doing here? I mean, Glenn White.
Wiping his forehead, and then Jack Roby says, "What's up, Harry and Chris?"
What's up, Harry, Chris? What's up, Jack Roby? It's all good, Glenn White, man. None of us hating on. We're not hating on that. We're just saying, hey, Matt is over there right now, and then he's confronting Moose. And Chris do not like Moose. Straight up, we're gonna be straight up about that. Chris don't care about Moose at all. But Nick Nemeth and everything, man, he's doing really good. Our man Dolph Ziggler is over there. He's doing very well over there in AEW. I mean, not AEW, but TNA. But still in TNA, hey, I'm gonna be straight up with you about TNA. TNA still has, they have a ways to go to really get back to the mainstream. They have a ways to go. It is what it is. But guys, we will talk to you later, man. We will see you later. We appreciate everybody. Once again, man, we already named everybody coming in. And like I say, appreciate Jack Roby coming in here late, man, coming in here rocking with us.
Glenn White checking us out.
Yeah, Glenn White checking us out, man. Jacob, Sammy, and our man Johnny Beans. We definitely appreciate all y'all coming in and rocking with the rest of the family, man. But hey, we are out of here, guys. We've been in here. We've been over here. 3 hours. 3 hours and 16 minutes. But we will see you guys later, man. Stay straight up. Peace.